Yeah! Welcome to another episode of ArtCo Drone Solutions. I'm back in the saddle again. I was a little laid up in the hospital for a few hours. I've got a bout of bronchitis and I'm feeling much better today. But before we get the show going, it is time for On This Day in History. 1830, the beginning of the French colonization of Algeria. 34,000 French soldiers land 27 kilometers west of Algiers at Sidi Farouche. 1864, the Battle of Trevelyan Station, the bloodiest and largest all-cavalry battle of the American Civil War in Lucas County, ends with the Confederate tactical victory and the Union successful retreat. 1931, Al Capone is indicted on 5,000 counts of prohibition and perjury. 1942, Anne Frank gets her diary as a birthday present in Amsterdam. 1964, Nelson Mandela is sentenced to life in prison in South Africa. 2018, Singapore summit between North Korean leader Kim Jong-un and U.S. President Donald Trump. First time a Korean leader and an incumbent U.S. president have ever met. All right, let's go on to film and television. 1939, shooting begins on Paramount's Dr. Cyclops, the first horror film photographed in 3-strip Technicolor. 1952, Second Berlin International Film Festival, One Summer of Happiness wins Golden Bear. Audience vote. 1955, TV comedy Mr. Peepers, starring Wally Cox, airs for the last time on NBC. 1955, Monitor, full weekend program begins on NBC Radio Network. 1958, Make Me Laugh TV game show last airs on ABC, syndicated in 1979. 1960, KORN, now KDLT, TV Channel 5 in Mitchell, Sioux Falls, South Dakota. ABC begins broadcast. 1963, Cleopatra, directed by Joseph Mankiewicz and starring Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton, premieres in New York City, the most expensive film ever made. All right, let's go over to sports. '80, the Worcester Ruby Legs pitcher Lee Richmond throws the first perfect game in Major League Baseball history in a 1-0 win over the Cleveland Blues at Agricultural County Fairgrounds in Worcester. 1894, British Open men's golf, Royal St. George Golf Course. J.H. Taylor wins the first Open played outside Scotland, beats Douglas Rowland by 5 strokes. 1896, England cricket spin bowler Jack Hearn sets record for earliest date taking 100 first-class wickets in a season when he captures 9 to 73 for the MCC in an inning of an 18 run drubbing of Australia's at Lords. I have no idea what I'm talking about. 1907, Yanks commit 11 errors and lose 14-6 to the Detroit Tigers. 1910, Dutch Soccer Club PEC forms in Zwolle, renamed FC Zwolle in 1990 and back to the PEC Zwolle in 2012. Whatever that means, I don't know. Okay, 1916, U.S. National Championship Women's Tennis. Forest Hill, New York, defending champion Mola Berstedt outclasses Louise Hammond Raymond 6-0, 6-1. 1919, U.S. Men's Open Golf at Brayburn Country Club. Walter Hagen defeats Mike Brady by one stroke in an 18-hole playoff to win his second and final U.S. Open. And that is what happened on this day in history. Alrighty, let's get back to our regular broadcasting, shall we? Before we get going, I want to say hello to all the folks in the chat. We've got Jody, Drone Shots, Johnny DRC, Kevin, Daddy of 13, Chris Wedgeworth. And James from My PI Dream, Lori Kovac. Welcome. And Drone Views Media, welcome to the show. Good to see you. And Drones Life RC, David, Arizona Drone Dude, welcome to the show. And Bill Ronane Toys, Bill, welcome to the show. And Eden Valley Drones UK, welcome to the show. Let's get this show on the road and let's bring up my panelists. Chuck, all the way from Liverpool, New York. Welcome, Chuck.
Hey, Art. Glad you're out of the hospital, brother.
Yes.
Hey, guys. How's everybody in the chat doing tonight?
Yeah, we got a couple more new people. We got Chris, Sunrise Water Media. Boy,
that's a mouthful. That's more than Covaxion. No, that's worse than Covaxion dronography. That's more syllables.
Yeah. Then we have Steve from SC Aerials. Welcome. Oh, and Gene Fox, Green Mountain Droning. Welcome.
I think it's cool they have a UK guy from it. You know, it's like stupid o'clock there. That's what they say.
Yes, it is.
Stupid
it's
o'clock.
About, what, midnight, 1 o'clock over there?
It's stupid o'clock.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's dedication right there when they pop in.
Yes, it is.
Or, yes, it is. You hear that? Lori's cooking something downstairs.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, the June oven's going do. I only silenced that. I'm sorry for the interruption. See if that works. The oven tells us when things are done on our phones. It's pretty weird.
Well, here's what happened to me Thursday. I went into work feeling okay, not really good. Was coughing and sneezing all day. Thought, oh, it's just another allergies. Get home, I'm feeling kind of crappy, feeling worse. So I decided, you know what, I'll get a hold of my doctor and set up an appointment, hopefully for that afternoon or the next day. And all I could get was Monday. So I got that set up. So I went to take a nap before dinner, and I lied down. It felt like I was drowning. Just had a hard time breathing. And I thought, this doesn't feel so good. So I just got on my phone, found out where the nearest hospital was, and went there. And boy, they got me in pretty quick.
Nice.
Pretty quick. Yep.
I've had bronchitis back when I was a kid. I used to get it every October, November, and it was no fun. And then I'd hack up a lung. You're doing great, because I'd hack up a lung for like a month after they started treating it. It was really kind of horrible. It sucked.
Did you have a inhaler?
No, I took triaminic syrup, and they had me on like I forget what it was. It would dry me out. It might have been that stuff that you make. What's the one you can't get over the counter anymore?
Yeah.
No, not Mucinex. Pseudo whatever, the little red pills. Yeah, Sudafed, but it was a variant of that. But now you can't get that stuff without showing your driver's license, because I think you're going to make a crack lab or something, meth lab or whatever it is. I don't know. I'm not a chemist. Yeah. But yeah, it used to take it would take seriously 2 to 3 weeks to clear out, and I'd get like the hack fit before it finally was gone.
Yeah.
Usually during exams, right in the middle of an exam, it's always a fun time to be coughing up a lung.
Yep. Well, right before the show, I was hacking pretty good. Luckily, I've got my little tumbler full of water. So if I feel
water here too,
a tickle, hit the pause button.
Hit the high quality H2O.
Yep.
There you go. Well, I'm glad to hear you sound pretty good.
Yeah.
Your tape didn't make it here yet, Art. I guess it's going to take a little while. It's stuck in Colorado Monday, still.
Then.
Yeah, it's stuck in Colorado. Last I checked, and that was today. So maybe Tuesday.
Oh boy.
Wow. It'll probably show up on my doorstep with my Mini 2. I ordered a Mini 2.
Ooh. Cool.
I need one to film in the UK.
There you go.
And Canada. So
when I was in ER, they did a chest X-ray. That was inconclusive. So I did a CAT scan.
No pneumonia though, right? No pneummonia, just
they wanted
bronchitis.
To check for that.
Right.
No pneumonia.
That's good. That's way more serious.
Yes. And hello, Michael Reynolds and Matt Cundiff. Matt, did you get a chance to see the members only video? Not very PC at all.
like not PC at all. I loved when you said he couldn't understand you because you were mumbling though in the hand signals. Dude, that's the best sense of humor ever, when you can pick on yourself, and that's awesome, man. Maybe I shouldn't laugh at that, but it was you're awesome, man. You're just awesome.
Well, when you take a CAT scan, they give you a contrast dye. They inject that into your veins, and it is the weirdest feeling. They say,
really?
Well, you're going to feel a little warm, and you're going to feel like you have to pee. And, I get that, and I'm like going, oh, this isn't bad. I got my hands up here, and they got the little tube I got to go in.
Yeah, you're in the where they slide you in and out.
Yep. Then all of a sudden, I'm feeling warm everywhere. Every orifice was warm. And I'm like going, oh, God. Even my butthole was warm. And my mouth was warm.
Creepy.
That was weird.
I've never had that done for like a CAT scan. I've been in the test tube thingy before. Of course, they couldn't find anything. It's like when they did one of Homer Simpson. There's like, yep, no brain damage, but we don't see a brain either.
Wow.
Call in the microsurgeon. Find Chuck's brain.
Yeah, there you go. So I didn't get home until about a little bit before 10 o'clock. I just had
you didn't have to spend the night.
Go eat some cereal and watch a little TV and then go to bed. I knew I wasn't going to go to work the next day. I was just Yeah.
Yeah.
So
well,
my
bronchitis
only
takes a lot out of you.
my only prescription was an inhaler of albuterol. I guess that just kind of opens up your bronchial tubes.
Okay. I remember now granted, we have to consider that the medical level I'm talking about when I had it was decades ago.
Oh.
Decades ago, the theory was that you wanted to keep from draining back into your lungs when you slept. So basically give you during the day you swallow, but at night, all that stuff that runs down from your sinuses, you don't swallow, so it goes beelines into your lungs, and then that's what kind of leads to that was the theory back in like late 80s, early 90s or whatever. So it seemed to hold true though, because you'd basically dry yourself out and then it would everything be back. But I never had pneumonia. Pneumonia scares me.
Oh yeah. Oh boy. I had pneumonia 4.5 years ago, and this was a month before my trip to the Philippines. Not only had pneumonia, but I had the flu on top of that.
Look at Bill. Hold on. Bill, he didn't miss an opportunity there. During the day, do you swallow?
Oh,
not
man.
That, Bill. Yeah, the only thing wrong with the Mini 2, if we're going to talk Father's Day gifts.
Yes, let's talk about that.
I'm not a daddy, but I think the Mini 2 should be high on people's lists. That's if there are any spouses out there, I think the Mini 2 is a great little itty bitty drone to have. I'm looking forward to putting it through the paces because I've been doing a lot of research. I don't like that it doesn't have decine-alike, but I've seen the footage. You can film in 24 frames, and if do you think DJI will ever let the smart controller work with that thing? You think they will by the fall?
What?
Maybe.
Thought it did with the first one, the Mini.
The Mini's just Wi-Fi. The Mini 2 has OcuSync 2, which is compatible with a smart controller if DJI has the heart to let it work with it. I'm wondering, I'm hoping and wondering if before they release the Mini 3, which will come out in probably November, maybe they'll get a little bump in sales, be like, well, we have all this competition from Hubsan and Xeno, and what if we enable the smart controller, and then these Mavic guys will grab up a Mini for like travel and stuff. Yeah, everybody's saying no. Well, screw you guys, because I hope it does.
Evo is coming out with their version of the smart controller.
Oh, they hit a major wall with that thing. They had a chip change. Did you hear about that? They have a version 1, version 2, and they're incompatible with one another. So if you have a version 1 Evo and a version 1 smart controller, you're good. But if you have a version 1 Evo and a version 2 smart controller, no good. So we'll see how they make out.
Yeah, that'd be cool. If they had one that'll work on the Evo 1, I'd be like, you know what? Maybe I'll hold on to that, and then if they get the smart controller, that'd be kind of cool.
Smart controller is really nice. The Autel smart controller is really expensive. Even like the DJI smart controller is a few years old and it's expensive, but this one is more expensive.
Yeah, I think it's like $1,500.
It was about double. Yeah, it's some serious coin.
Ooh, ouch.
That's like enterprise type money, don't you think? That's like they're deeming, they're treating it like an enterprise device.
Right.
But for Dad next week, I would think like a Mini 2, maybe an Air 2S, or what's really cool.
Matt says it's $11.99.
What is $11.99?
The smart controller.
Oh yeah. It's a spendy little bugger, isn't it? I picked up the 360 Go 2 little camera, the little itty bitty teeny tiny camera.
Yep.
I figured.
Yeah, Ken Heron just did a video on that.
Yeah, I wanted one of those to go with my little itty bitty drone. So I figure pack small. That thing looks super cool. It auto levels and everything. I'm gonna have a lot of fun with that thing. I think Lori's gonna take it over though and stick me with the Osmo Action.
There you go. Now, speaking of action cameras,
those are good
I've
gifts
got
too.
The Hero 5.
Yep.
And the 7.
Yep.
Now, I found out what was causing the, why it would shut down after a couple minutes.
Why?
Heat? Because when you download the videos off your SD card, there's still some files on here. And it causes kind of a hiccup. And it'll shut down. So if you're going to download the files, you're going to have to format the SD card.
So you download your files, and then the camera lets you format the SD card pretty quickly, right?
Yeah, you could either do it in the camera or on the PC.
Okay, so that's not so bad. If it's easy to get to in the camera, just download the files and then format the card.
With the file.
Yeah, wild.
Yeah,
the Osmo Action would make a good Father's Day gift too. Oh, you found YouTube's awesome, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
And not just for drone stuff.
Yeah, it's...
But mostly for drone stuff.
I mean, whatever you're interested, you'll find it on YouTube.
We have to remember whenever we go to one of those really great how-tos, it saves our day to make sure that we like and comment and say thank you so much. This was super helpful too, because I understand the algorithm likes that stuff. It likes interaction. So we must be kind to those people, because you and I both know, well, we all know, everybody in the chat knows, when you create, it takes a lot of time. So just to get a little bit of a thank you is always a nice thing.
Yeah, like my morning sunrise video that I just did about
a week ago. That purple, the lavender and the purple was mind-blowing to me. The only time I've ever seen that was out on the west coast of Oregon, and that's when I saw it. It just like blew my mind how awesome that was. And you brought me back there. That was really cool art. When first I'm like, what's he doing? He's panning the camera around. What's he doing? And then I'm like, oh, purple. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. I wanted to show you the sun rising on the mountains.
Yeah, it was nice. Yeah. But I was yelling at the TV. I'm like, no, don't pan. What are you doing? I'm like, oh, pan. Yes, pan, please. Sounds like something else, doesn't it? Don't stop. Don't stop.
And I wanted to show the sunlight off the lake. And so it was pretty calm out there. So there wasn't a lot of ripples on the pond.
Yeah, isn't that cool? And it was like glass. It was like glass, and I could see the clouds in the pond. That was pretty epic too. A lot of good little bits there, Art. You had a lot of good stuff. Which drone did you use?
Oh, that was the
Air 2?
The Air 2, yeah.
Yeah, it did really well. I didn't see any noise or anything either. It seemed like it was pretty clean. Nice. See, it's a formidable little drone. All these guys that wanted to unload their Air 2 because the Air 2S came out. I mean,
I know.
The big sensor is better for super low light, though. It is better for that, but for just normal light, like even sunrise, like you caught, it looked really good.
Yep.
Yeah,
I like it. I mean, I am so grateful for Ken Dono for donating that for me, and also the Autel Evo. That was both of those drones are a huge step up from the Mavic Air.
Oh yeah. The Evo is with the connectivity. It has the penetration. of signal.
It's very similar to OcuSync.
I think they're pretty much copied. Yeah.
Yeah.
However, it's working.
Hey, let's welcome all the way from Louisiana. I think it's Louisiana. Let's welcome Johnny Drone Flyer.
Hey, Art. Hey, Chuck.
Welcome.
I know that guy.
What's up?
Dude, how you doing?
Yeah, Art sent me an invitation. I just wanted to say hello. I'm not going to stay but a second. We went in the pool, and I got out, and I changed clothes. I've been in the pool since about 1 o'clock. It's so darn hot over here. But yeah,
you say pool or pool?
Pool.
Oh, I was kind of just thought something about taking a poo. I was like,
yeah,
that's too much information. I'm just teasing. Just teasing.
Hard to understand this South Louisiana.
You're fine with the Louisiana stuff. I talk to you. There's a couple of HVAC reps I talk to down there all the time. They're all good guys. You guys get really sticky. You need good humidity control down there.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's 93 today. I'll tell you what, the air conditioners ain't cutting off. I know that.
It's 93% humidity too, right?
Probably so. Probably about 98%.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, it's been in the low 90s here today too, as well. But because where I live, I live in what's called a garden level apartment.
Yeah.
So I'm like 4 feet below ground, and I'm on the northwest side, so I'm not getting direct sunlight. So it's comfortable right here.
Right. Yeah. I just wanted to say, hey, Maddie. I see Maddie's in the house, and Bill Renee. Yeah, you got a good crowd in, Art. I just wanted to say hello. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you for stopping in.
I wanted to say thanks for Wednesday.
I'm going to listen in the background. My son-in-law is going to fry some chicken wings, so we're going to go have some
chicken wings. We'll be right there.
I might drink a daiquiri, so.
That sounds good. John, thanks for having me on Wednesday, man. That was a lot of fun.
Absolutely. We enjoyed it. It was a great show, man. I'll tell you what, we got, it's fun. It's fun to have, I tell you what, it was a great show, and Tom was a great guest. You was a great guest, and
I couldn't get a word in edgewise with that dude.
Hey, Tom can talk, but you know what? He's got interesting stories. Art, I hope you're feeling better, right?
Yes, I'm feeling much better today.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Dr. Chuck can take care of you if you have any problems.
I'll do my best.
He can write you a prescription for something.
Sometimes I wish I was a doctor. Yeah, can it be one of those internet doctors and like write up, scripts and just take your word for it?
That's one good thing. My daughter's a nurse practitioner, so it's kind of I get the. Hey, she can write some scripts, so it's pretty cool,
Nice.
Yeah, hey, I tell everybody, check. Art, are you going to spin up? I know you said possibly.
That's possibly. We'll see what my medical bill is going to be.
Oh God.
Hopefully it won't be that bad.
I'm out of time. I booked it all.
Yeah, and Chuck, you said you were out of
we're spread thin this year, Johnny. We're like, Lori and I are supposed to go to Scotland in late September, early October. That's 2 weeks. And
it's like I
get 4. I get 4, and then
we paid for an Italy trip. It would be we go on in March, and it got postponed. For the first year of COVID, we had to pay for it. I think 18 months before, so it's been paid for like. Hey, Steve, it's been paid for like. When we go, it'll be paid 47 months.
Well, at least it's paid for. It'll just be no stress. Just have a good time. That's one of those.
It's a Viking cruise.
Yeah. We were talking about that before. My Lori's boss went on one of those.
It's supposed to be the thing.
I guess they're pretty awesome from what I heard.
They say the only thing we had to cancel and then with the COVID and then they tried to screw. We did get screwed out of our insurance, but hey.
The insurance. I had insurance for a trip to Hawaii, and they had a hurricane.
Right.
And the house was in the middle of a brush fire on Maui. And I couldn't prove that the house was standing or not. So I called up the insurance company. And basically they told me that if the house was uninhabitable, then it was covered. I said, what if it has no power and I can't get to it without climbing over rocks and shit? Because it's on this Highway 30 that runs along the coast of Maui, like up to Lahaina. And they didn't care. I was like, you guys are do you realize that's unconscionable what you're telling me? Just give me my damn money back.
It's only insurance. No, I think none of us in here are insurance agents. So, hey, it is.
Yeah. Steve, well, if they are, it's a rotten business. Because, I get what they're doing, but it was.
Yeah.
But
All right, guys,
anyway.
I'm gonna hop off.
Anyway, sorry about that.
I'm gonna be listening, so don't say anything bad about me.
I'll be right over, Johnny. I want some of those wings.
I know. I want wings too. Damn it.
You better get the frying. I think somebody pulled up right when we was fixing to start, so he's probably kind of pissed off. So we got to get the frying here. I'm gonna be listening in the background though. So
okay.
All right, get to
it. All right, thanks, guys.
See ya.
Want to say hello to Ed. Love my drones. Good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. Good to have you back. Steve, good to see you.
Art, good to see you. I'm glad you're feeling better. Hello, Chuck.
Hey, Steve, you look purple. You have that monitor on in front of you, that blue light going.
Yeah.
You're turning violet. You've used that joke before. Got to the blueberry pie part.
There you go.
Good old Willy Wonka joke. Did you see Ferris Bueller's Day Off turned 35 years old on Friday?
What?
Oh, no.
Oh my God.
I know. I've told you guys before. Well, maybe not here. We were talking about it on Johnny's show on Wednesday that when I do my vlogs, I think about Ferris Bueller because, in my opinion, that was the quintessential vlog movie, like the first fourth dimensional, talk to the audience, engage the movie, and he's my benchmark. Matthew Broderick as Ferris Bueller is my benchmark, just so you know.
Excuse me.
Well, I like what Ed said.
He's in a blue state. So am I. We shouldn't go there today, though, right? That's your tomorrow thing. Well, I'll just say this really quick. Red or blue, they're all bought off. They're all filthy rich, and they all don't care about the middle class. And we'll leave it at that. Have a nice day. You can debate it all you want, but it don't matter.
Well, I'll make one interjection to that, Chuck, is that it's not the middle class. The only thing they care about is themselves.
They are self-absorbed.
That's the point.
I think we all agree on one. Okay, I'll dare to take Sunday back a day without a flux capacitor. I'll bring it back to today. But I really think that if they had term limits and had to enjoy our health care, get the same health care we get, the healthcare system in this country would improve because they wouldn't stand for it if they had to have what we have. That's all I'm saying. And that means that's probably one of the biggest things that could change in this country that would be good for all of us.
That's true.
That's it. Okay, I'm done. I get off the soapbox on that crap because that's for tomorrow. And,
hey, Steve,
back to
great
drones.
Video on Oz by Drone last night.
Oh, thank you. It was fun. It was really interesting. I mean, we're used to delays when we go for a live stream or something like that, but the delay in that was like, oh my Lord! It was like, hello, when am I going? And I know when I went up and I hit my stopwatch, and I'm going, let's find out how long it does take before I see something to what I'm doing. It was like almost 20 some seconds.
Wow.
It's an eternity.
It was, well, you got to figure I'm broadcasting out, then I'm hitting his Dronebook RMTP server. Then from there, it's going back and then going out to YouTube, and then from YouTube, it's being broadcast out. So, but yet I went live last night for a sunset flight, and it cut me off. I was only on for like 12 minutes, and YouTube just cut me off.
Oh,
yikes.
Wow.
And I could not log back in. I came back in after I was done. I tried it 3 times. I double checked my stream key. My stream key was right. And it was like,
what are you using, Steve? Are you using StreamYards like Art is, or using something different?
No. For a live stream, a drone flight, I'm using RMTP code on my original Mavic Pro on the Go4 app.
Mm-hmm.
You can. That's how I was live streaming with to Greg's show last night. You just put in his RMTP code in there, and then for your key, which you would have to have for your YouTube key, there I just put my name. all lowercase in there. So when it comes up, he sees it. He knows who that person is.
Oh, see, I use StreamYards like Art does.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah. Well, StreamYards is really easy. You just set everything up and StreamYards does all the heavy lifting. It's just boom, it works. You don't have to do
but
anything crazy.
But not for flying live.
Yeah. Oh, not for flying live. No, you're right. And I haven't tried that. I set it all up in the Mavic 2 and everything in Go 4, but I haven't played with it.
Now, I guess what StreamYards? Go ahead, Art. You want to say something?
Now with the Fly app, I use oh God, what's the name of that app?
OBS?
Streamlab?
No, not OBS, but it's a
Streamlab?
DV recorder.
Oh, DV recorder?
Yeah, and I use that. I forgot Drone Zen or Zen Drone or whatever, and I'm able to live stream from my Mavic Air or my Mavic Air 2 because it'll work with the Fly app.
Right. I haven't done that, and I know a lot of people have a lot of problems depending on what phone you're using, especially if you're using a Android because of the different phones that are out there and the different operating systems on it.
Love my Android.
It's that third. It just quashes against that third-party application a lot of times. Because I know Paul Drone Bums had all kinds of problems with it, and even Rodney Bales had problems with it. And I think I think Dennis Lovelady did, but he went to another application. I think he's using another one. What he uses than the DU recorder.
DU recorder.
But it was just wild. I was sitting there, and all of a sudden, I'm watching my playback, and it just starts spinning. I'm going, spinning. I'm still showing I'm streaming. I'm at 29.9 frames a second, just like boom, 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 solid, because my router is like maybe, I don't know, 8 feet from me here, and from sitting there is another, maybe a total diagonally, 15 feet is all I am away from the router, so I know I got a good signal.
Yeah, I haven't tried a live stream yet, other than like just playing around with it a few years ago. I did it once, just like it was like private broadcast just to see if it worked. And then I was like, nah, I need to be produced. I need to edit all my stuff. I don't like that raw stuff.
Oh, the app I use is MobiZen.
MobiZen.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan, MobiZen.
Yeah. Yeah, so what you do is you go into that, and then it allows you to go into your YouTube, and you get choose. Like for me, I've got 4 different channels. And I could live stream on any of those channels, but I just go to ArtCo and then set that up, and then start flying, and then hit record, and it plays. Oh, and another cool thing is I could set it up to where I could see the chat. But the problem with that is that goes on the live stream as well. So you got all this junk on there. Yeah.
Well, you could monitor it off another phone or a tablet, and then disable, because you can disable the chat in there. I'm told.
Yeah. Yes, you can. Yeah.
What StreamYards can do, Chuck? We did this with Jim Boyd from Above and Beyond Drones.
Uh-huh.
We took a test, and what StreamYards does, they have an HTML code that you can sit there and drop onto a website, which I have it on my work site on a page. And when I go live, it's actually live streaming to my website.
Oh, cool.
It puts it out there, and they have 2 different codes. One that is just straight the live video, and the other one, you have to do it every time, though, because of the chat that will allow the chat to come through even on that broadcast. Because he was trying to find a way that he could do a live show and then fly and bring that image in. And if he's going live, it's broadcasting. It could go right to his, to his website, and he can bring that screen in then at the same time right into his live broadcast.
Hello, Eddie Nunez.
I see Eddie Nunez
and
is
John
in.
Olson. Welcome to the show.
Man, Eddie's video is pretty badass, wasn't it? A week or so ago when they're flying around. What was that? Atlantic City? Is that where they were? Eddie, is that where you were in Atlantic City? You guys were doing the Air 2S and the FPV stuff. That was badass. That sunset shot with the Air 2S was just badass. So cool. I was like, damn.
So they didn't give you any antibiotics, Art?
Yeah, I think they did when they got the IV hooked up.
They juiced you up.
See my
nice little bruise.
That's where they hooked up the IV. They gave me something.
They usually prescribe something.
Blood, and then you always see all the vials that they're taking from me. I'm like going, what the hell? Why are you using a bottle this big to take blood? Jesus Christ. And then they take this syringe with
freaking
some
vampires
liquid, and I guess it was antibiotics, and they stuck that in, and that's all they did. They
juiced you up.
I got
all
a
juiced up.
prescription for an inhaler, so that's helping.
Are you albuterol?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good, because that's going to open up your bronchi in your lung. Because one of the best things, I mean, I'm prone to it. I had pneumonia back when I was in the Air Force going through basic training, and I came down with pneumonia. And ever since then, it was like within that year, I actually got diagnosed as a diabetic within a year of that. And so I'm prone to it. And one of the quickest ways I do it, I mean, I know the symptoms, and my doctor knows I know the symptoms. I'll call up. If I don't have to go in, all of a sudden there'll be a prescription for zithromycin, Z-Pak. And
good old Z-Pak, 5 tablets.
Knocks it out. Well, it lasts over a 10-day period. That's the whole
Z-Pak
thing.
5, maybe it was 10 tablets. I can't remember now. It's been a long time.
It's 5. You take 2 the first day, and then you go. No, you take 2, and then 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 more. It's over 5 days.
Yeah.
But it lasts in your body for 10. It's still working in your body for 10 days.
Yeah, Z-Pak stuff, that was pretty new back in like the late 90s, I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still works, huh? That's cool.
Oh yeah. In fact, Ron Lockwood was on it here. His doctor diagnosed it with him because he had to go in for a CAT scan for his lungs too.
Yikes.
No. That was somebody else. I take it back. They had diagnosed him with the bronchitis on the verge of pneumonia.
Speaking of Ron, I think he's here.
There he is.
Ron, good to see you.
Speak of the devil.
I'll give you a link if you want to pop in.
Speak of the devil. Horns come up.
Oh, I tell you what, Art. I have to be laughing my butt off because when I started your program up, you know what the ad came up to? Stacey Abrams.
Stacey Abrams. So what else do you get the special dad in your life for Father's Day next week? You have a week to get it, so Amazon only needs 2 days.
Whatever you want to get me, send it over. I'll take them all.
My dad just wants me to say Happy Father's Day. He doesn't want any more crap in the house, so I just
Yeah.
I was over there today. I went over and stopped by to see my parents today, and that's kind of cool.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, it's cool when they're so close because it's like they're not getting any younger. None of us are, but it was really it's nice when they're literally like 6 minutes away from my house, which is like close enough but far enough, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
it's perfect.
Yeah, well, enjoy them all you can. That's all I can tell you, because I lost my dad about it's coming up 15 years now.
Yeah, it's
same here. Mm-hmm.
And Art was the same way. I know.
Lori knows. Yeah, Lori, you know, she lost both her parents, her mom in December most recently, and that was really hard on all of us because she's such a wonderful woman.
Wow. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Lori's mom was pretty damn special. She's just a great woman, and I miss her dearly. But so she she wanted to put mulch down in the front yard today. And she sent me on my merry way to go down to see my parents. And she forgot that my pickup had all the mulch in the back. And so she said, when I got back, she's like, yeah, I realized you had all the mulch in the back of the truck, but I wasn't going to bug you because you were spending time with your parents, which I thought was pretty cool.
That's sweet. Yeah.
Well, that's how she rolls. That's how Lori rolls. So I guess I should let her fly the FPV drone and take it through the swing set, make Chris happy, crash or not, and do it. She'll probably fly the hell out of that thing anyway. I'm too chicken. Let her do it. It'd be cool if she made it, right? If she makes it, that'd be cool. Like I'll have to film the look on my face and have the GoPro filming her as she makes it. Hopefully.
Yeah. So, women are actually good
Chris
pilots.
Is like, yes.
Women are actually good pilots and good with firing weapons, accurate wise.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is. It's the stability of their demeanor. Because my uncle was with guns. Better. He took his wife out to shoot for the first time. Never had ever fired a weapon. Took him out in a blink of an eye. The targeting cluster was like this big on the target, on the regular, ring bullseye target. Yeah. Everything was in the dead center or the just outside ring.
All right. Well, Steve, it looks like Lori's challenge has to be accepted. She's going to have to take the FPV out and do some practice and then make it happen. So what the hell? You can do it, Lori. It has State Farm insurance on. I have one free spin. Go ahead and knock the arms off. Although I've heard DJI, if you send it back to them, it's only like if you snap a couple of arms off, it's under $200 to get it straightened out. It's not that bad. You only need that's without like refresh. It's just
You okay, Art?
Yeah. Oh, I just had a fit there.
A hack attack.
Fit.
I get with the bronchitis. I heard Chuck talking about it because if bronchitis sets with me, I'll have it anywhere from a month to 2 months with that. At least a month of the coughing fit you just had.
For me, it was a month.
For a month.
For me, it was a month, and then the last week was the worst because you're getting the last bits out. It seems that it's like from the deepest sections of your lungs has to be purged, and it's just it's just ow.
Yeah, but I didn't want my lungs purging though. That's the problem.
But it felt like that's what it feels like. It feels like your lungs are trying to leave your body, like turn inside out. It's insane. So I don't know. Art, hang in there, man. It'll go away, but it's probably gonna take a while.
Yeah, I was going to ask Ron how he's feeling.
This before, so I know how it's going to go.
Yeah, well, we all respond differently too. So if you're already familiar with it, you know how it's going to go.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You're your own best doctor, as they say.
Isn't that wild? Yeah, I know. When I had a UTI once, and I called up my doctor, and I called the nurse. I'm like, "Yeah, I have a UTI." She's like, "How do you know?" And I started rattling off. It's like, well, I know, but okay, here's what's going on.
So your pee is pink. That's not.
You drinking?
We won't get into the TMI parts of it, but
Are you drinking packets of yeast, Chuck? You drinking the beer before it's finished fermenting?
No,
all the yeast.
This has actually been a number. It's been a long time, been a number of years. But I knew though. It's funny. I knew.
I think it was the Vegemite.
Ooh, Vegemite. No, I've never had Vegemite.
Ooh.
You shouldn't have said that.
To our Australian friends.
We'll get Lloyd to send you some.
As I
I've
say,
seen
I
it. I remember men at work talking about the Vegemite sandwich. I'm like, what the hell is that? It looks like tar.
Ooh.
What is that stuff?
And it is what's left over from beer. And they thought, so we're starving over here. And when did that start? That during World War II, they decided, let's come up with something that
is that. Wait, is that like in Sweden? They were putting down this brown slimy stuff on the roads that turned out to be de-icer. It was all natural, and it was like a byproduct of some kind of fermentation stuff too. Probably not too far distant cousin of Vegemite.
Well,
something vile scraped out of the bottom of the barrel.
On your toast, you put butter on first, then you put like a thin layer of Vegemite. Oh, thanks for sharing, Lori.
Oh, you had to go there. She had to go there. Yeah, I was diagnosed the day before we were going to fly out to Maui, and my doctor was like, yeah, you probably shouldn't go. I said, yeah, I'll take my chances. I'm going. And then...
hey, let's welcome all the way from Somerset, South Dakota. Let's welcome Ron Lockwood.
There's Ron.
Welcome, Ron. Good to see you.
Yeah. How you feeling, Art?
I'm feeling better. I just had a coughing fit a little while ago.
I can relate.
I think we all can. I know Steve and I have been through it too.
Yeah.
Well, Ron's, I think, has us all beat. He comes down with COVID. He gets his first vaccination, and then he thinks he's got it again. And then when he had his second one, that did it even worse than the actual COVID did.
Yeah, you took it pretty bad, Ron. I remember you talking about that before. That's insane.
That second shot of wet, that one, that's the night I ended up on the floor. I was so really dehydrated, sick, and it just wouldn't, that sounds gross, but things wouldn't stop coming out of my body. And I went to get up, and I'm like, I got to get some fluids in me. I get up, and next you know, the whole room went 10 different directions. I'm laying on the floor going, crap, that wasn't fun. I was kind of laughing at myself. And then I'm like, do I call an ambulance? No. Because my stubborn self, I'm like, you know what? These guys will pick me up. I'll be the biggest pain in the ass. And they're like, take this guy back home. But
yeah, Lori and I did okay with that silly ass Pfizer 1 and 2. We were just sore arm and beat the hell though. I mean, we slept well especially for the second one. That just kicked the crap out of us. We did it on a Saturday afternoon. Yeah. Sunday was lost. The weekend was lost. But that was it.
Now, for me, the first shot is the one that really hit me because I got the shot on Saturday. I'm at work. I get up to go to the bathroom, which is a nice little walk from my station. And I get to the bathroom and I'm like,
yeah. That was the second shot for us.
But the second shot wasn't as bad as first one. I just felt tired.
So it's pretty bizarre how it affected us all differently, for the most part. And
well, a lot of them, like for Ron and people, you shouldn't be taking the vaccine for at least 6 months after
if you had
having
COVID.
it.
You know, I asked them that, and I asked them that specifically. That's the first thing I said when I came in the door. They're like, nope, you'll be fine. Are you sure?
I know too many
I don't believe that.
doctors.
Steve, I don't even need this. I wonder the same thing because I had coworkers and stuff that had COVID. I'm thinking, you're good for at least 6 months. Why even worry about it? Wait till the rush dies down, then go and get poked. They're like, who cares? It's like you have antibodies from your body. Your immune system works like it's worked for the last however long humans have existed. It works the
Yeah.
same. It learns,
Yep.
it knows, and it's good. It might start to forget after a while, but you're good for
It
a
isn't
while.
so much that as you've got the antibodies in there, and what are you trying to do? You're dumping more in. Your body's trying to get
Yeah.
over that, so your body
Yeah.
is fighting the vaccine. And so it's like, oh my god.
Oh, well, I guess that's a better theory than mine, but still, I don't get it. It's whatever. Now they can't give this stuff away right now. I can't give it away. Well, I know I was going to get a free beer if I was patient. What the hell? What's up with that?
Well, the big thing now is they're giving it to the younger kids, and now the heart problems that they're with the joke.
That's pretty scary.
800 cases. Now, in any other vaccine that goes through any trial, the threshold is 12 to 25. If something major happens during the trial period, they stop it. Boom, they stop it. This is 800. It's
Yeah.
all
Crazy,
about
man.
the money.
Yep.
I don't know what it is, but it's like, now we're going over to Sunday again. Enough already. Just enough.
Yeah.
For F's sake, the expletive that rhymes with my name and starts with F. Enough already. Cut it out. Like,
Now in
it's
the
like,
Philippines, they're getting their vaccine from China, and I'm like going, that would make me want to wonder.
yeah.
And South
Yeah,
America,
Keith of the K-Spot's a little skeptical about that too.
South and Central America are getting the China vaccine too, a lot.
I guess nobody ought to know it better than them.
Well, maybe those people will have a hankering for chow mein.
Maybe fish heads.
Or egg, you fool young, why did you take it?
I don't know. Ask DJ. Maybe DJI has the answer for us. I don't know.
You guys see my video I put up this morning?
Yeah.
No, I haven't yet.
The,
I haven't yet.
helicopter
Play it?
flight?
Yeah.
All right.
I
Go ahead and
just
share
spent
it.
a lot of time. What's that?
If you want to play it, we'll share it on the show if you want to.
Yeah,
Ooh,
the
play
music's
it.
from iMovies, and it's YouTube safe.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'll take your word for
Art has no fear. He's been demonetized before.
YouTube, please. There goes Art out the door.
Oh, we broke
Alrighty.
the internet. Gone into the other dimension.
Uh-oh, he knocked himself out. He hit the wrong button.
We got sucked in. Sucked into the vortex. And then Ron disappeared.
Oh,
Ron got
that's what I'm
sucked
saying.
in. Quick,
he clicked-
send him
he-
up, throw him rope. Throw him rope. Get him out. Pull him out. Pull him out.
It's a great video with him
Run!
with his
Save Ron from the internet.
his
got
three
sucked in.
his 360 camera with him sitting in the helicopter.
Oh, I saw a photo of it. I didn't see the video.
Somebody played it on one of the shows this week. I forget who put it up there, but
Good one, Chris. I saw what Chris wrote for Chuck's sake.
Oh, and then I got
There you go.
on this side too.
What the Chuck?
what they didn't want. You got put IVs in both arms.
Ron,
Yes,
you're back.
I did. Because this
I was trying to
this
throw
guy
you a rope to get
decided
you
to be
pulled
a
back into the
jerk.
internet.
and wouldn't
Wrong screen.
the blood would just kind of dribble.
Oh.
So they
There we go.
jabbed me and they got a good vein.
You're like
All right.
Fury.
Let's try that one more time.
Oh no, he's gonna
Okay.
get sucked in again.
Yeah.
Can you enlarge that?
Is
There
the,
you
She
go.
said.
is
There
the
you go.
screen showing?
Art
You're so
caught it.
funny, Chuck.
Is the screen showing, Art?
Yeah, it looks good. I can see it.
It's all with the Insta 361.
I just ordered an Insta 362.
Did you?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that thing. It's an awesome little gizmo.
I don't like it. I keep stuttering. Oh, shoot.
That's awesome off the medical center.
That is really cool. Can we land our drone there? Probably not. Perfect age.
I like the shadows it was creating.
Yeah.
I like the shadow of the
Yeah,
helicopter and stuff. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Tracking yourself.
I have
Very
phone
nice,
footage
Ron.
from when we Lori and I were.
It's Vadim. Hey, hi guys. From Russia. Hey, I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's Ken Heron's thing. Where he's, yeah.
Sorry about that.
It's all
Switched
good.
Oh, I thought Kim joined us. I'm like, where
kinda
the hell
did.
is he?
You virtually joined us. I have some helicopter footage, but it's only from my mobile phone from a few years ago when we were in Las Vegas and went to the Grand Canyon. That was not as good as the Insta, though. The Insta's pretty awesome, man.
Are you getting that? Is that what it's called? The go-to?
That's the go-to, yeah. Super
That's
great.
a little itty bitty guy, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be great. Lori's not gonna give it back to me. She's gonna, when she sees how cool it is, she'll be like, "Yeah, you can take the action. Have that. I want this." I can. She doesn't know it yet, but she will when she sees it because it's so cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is about that time. It is time to spin the wheel for toffee. I said toffee, not coughing. Pick a number between 1 and 50, and we will spin the wheel for some toffee. Ron, you are welcome if you want to jump in, put a number in. Steve, Chuck.
Well, I got mine in really quick.
Chuck beat us all.
I'm Richard Petty this time. I'm trying the 40 system. Now watch, my normal number will come in this time. It'll be funny. If it does, I'm gonna laugh my butt off.
Oh, 249s.
Oh,
change your number. The second one in. Who's second one in?
I have to change your number.
One is the winner.
Change your number.
It's big. Alrighty, I think everybody's in. So let's spin that wheel.
All right, no more bets. No more bets.
All bets off.
Ooh, lucky 13.
And the winner is 13.
Bill Rohn has 14. I don't know if anybody had anything. Bill Rohn has it.
Okay, who's closest?
Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, Bill Rohn has it.
No, Steve got 13.
I cheated. I wait till the number came up.
Oh, wait, Bill. Oh. Wait, I'm confused now. Hold on.
No one has 13, I don't think. No.
No, who's the closest, though? I saw
14?
I thought Bill Rohn had 14, but they said okay 30. He said okay 38, but I don't know why he said that.
Steve's the winner. I think he's the closest to 13.
No, but I put it in after the number was drawn, Art. So
no, you put in 17 early on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what I'm wondering is because
Bill has it.
Bill Rohn's Toys has 14.
Oh,
why did he say okay 38?
Okay, Bill's the closest then. Okay, Bill.
Oh, he put in 2. His first one was good though. Let you disqualify him, which is un-American. It's mean.
Email me your address and I will ship that out to you.
He disqualified himself. There's always so much drama doing this toffee giveaway. Why? Why does it have to be like this? Why? It's supposed to be fun.
I was just pulling a check when the number hit, and then I typed it in.
Oh yeah. Pulling a chuck. I've never done that. I always punch it in like very first and then just take my lumps. But somehow
I'm just
I
saying,
only-
quick to the trigger.
I only won out of I won out of sympathy once. One of the other guys in the chat won and gave it to me, and it was nice.
You didn't. You got it. Bill, send your address to Art.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. Either,
Steve was
Flash
second closest. Yeah, Steve was second closest, and he's handed it over. So no guilt, man.
all right, Bill. Congratulations, Bill. You are the winner of some premium Enstrom's almond toffee.
The stuff
And
is
you
good.
will enjoy it.
It is really, really, really good.
Make sure to refrigerate it because he lives in Florida.
It won't last that
And-
long. Oh, you mean it'll be a little soft when it gets there?
Oh, yeah.
Little.
Because Ken Heron, he got some long time ago that I sent him. And he left it in his car.
Oops.
And it got a little soft. So,
Yeah. I remember we were in Florida in April, and my mom bought a chocolate alligator, and it went under the plane. And by the time I got home, it wasn't a chocolate alligator anymore.
Kind of
It
like
was
a
to its
molten
own
slab.
blob.
It's a
It was just a
chocolate
blob.
turd. Yay, great. Thanks, Mom.
Blob. At least it was still chocolate, but it was a blob.
So how's the weather over there in South Dakota, Ron?
Hot.
Yeah,
Really?
same here.
Huh.
Again?
Oh yeah, it was 102 the other day.
Yeah, I remember that. You telling me that.
I think it's only like 90 today.
Oh,
All right. Let me write that down real quick. I'll take.
do a
Well,
screenshot.
Do a copy and paste from the chat. Just double click and grab her, and
Yeah,
then
that's right.
You know, people
Triple
think of the Dakotas and they
Click.
think, oh, it's always cold there. Well, we have winter, but the summers can get brutal.
And
But
you have summer.
And we went straight from winter to forgetting about spring, went right to summer.
we all did. We
Yeah.
all did, Ron. It feels like it anyway. We're
Yeah.
73. Look at this dude.
Yeah, the hippie dude from Lipa City's Batangas, Philippines.
Something's
Let's
different.
welcome
His hair's not
James.
pulled back. Look at James. He looks all
No.
got
This
that George Harrison look going.
This is all natural this morning. Good morning, guys.
You look good, man.
Now, James has got warm weather.
Like
Yeah.
my green screen behind me?
Yeah, I like that. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, Steve. You guys, Ron, Chuck, Art, good to see you guys this morning. Everybody inside the chat. How's everybody?
It's all
Doing
good.
good.
I'm doing
Billy.
much better today.
Art's
I'm just
feeling
hoping
much
the
better,
logistic-
thank goodness.
I'm hoping the logistics work okay for me today because I'm way back away from the router, so I'm back by the swimming pool. Hopefully, there's no
Lori's
delays or
been
anything
walking.
like that.
I see what Lori's thinking, James. She's like, Chuck's got to get that mullet back again.
It's not a mullet. I don't have a mullet. I mean, there's nothing cut short up here. It's all.
No,
This
no. I
is-
mean, well,
this is-
I could
this is-
do that. I could pull that off. It'd be all
This
curly.
this is literally my COVID haircut. I have not cut
I
my
like it.
haircut since day one
Wow.
of COVID. I was supposed to go.
This
I was
is for
supposed to go
this is
in
for
2020.
Johnny.
Like
93. There you go, Johnny. 71 here.
Oh, I'll show you. I'll show you us. I'll show you us. You're gonna hate
71.
us.
Where is that?
71
San Diego.
degrees.
This is us.
78. That's
Yeah.
not too bad. But look what time it is there for you. You're after 8 o'clock at night.
8:00. You know what's weird? The computer says 72, but I don't think it's updated in a while.
Won't
Oh.
work.
Your blue
It's
screen.
88 here.
87.
Wow.
It's don't know if you can see. It's 27 here,
27.
but that's in centigrade. So I imagine
27
that's like, I don't know,
that's warm.
85 or something, like 88, 90. I don't know. As a matter of fact, I had to move. We usually have an umbrella. There's an umbrella that sits over the top of
It's
this
81
chair over
almost
here.
81 degrees.
I had to move.
80.6.
Yeah, 81
I had to
almost.
move. I had to move the umbrella over here. We're in rainy season.
Yeah.
I got to take an important phone call.
The humidity here is like crazy.
All right,
Okay,
Ron.
Ron, take care.
Bye-bye.
Good to see
See you
you.
later, Ryan.
Bye.
He's got an important phone call.
Yeah.
And then there were 4.
We're in rainy season here. So rainy season, you see all the clouds behind me. Every morning, it's like Groundhog Day, Phil Murray Groundhog Day. Every day's the same. Morning, you wake up, the skies are totally blue, beautiful. Then about 1 hour after the sun comes up, all these clouds come in. Then every day now we're getting like rain almost every single day.
Lori's right. I should have pulled a James and went out to the deck, and why didn't I? I still could. I can't set the lights up and stuff now.
Steve, Bill has given the toffee to you.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you.
So email me your address and I'll get that out to you.
I will. Thank you.
Lori, why don't you go out on the deck? You can go on the deck, and then next time. That's what you meant to type. Next time.
Am I the only one that's seeing lag and seeing unsync? Maybe because I'm so far away from the router.
Yeah, it could be.
I don't know.
You look a little fuzzy.
A little fuzzy.
Okay, well, I'm gonna try. I might get disconnected here. I'm gonna try. I got like 4 routers here at the house. I'm gonna try connecting to a different hotspot.
Only 4.
We'll probably get disconnected. They're all
okay.
I have one on each floor, and let's see. I'm gonna try something. Hold on, we'll see.
Roger, go for throttle up. Famous last words of the Challenger. That's not funny, is it? Probably not.
No.
That's what I say before I expect something to go terribly wrong whenever I do something at work. Yeah.
All right.
I have to build a Discovery still. I'm sure he'll be. Ooh, ouch! He'll be back.
What?
I have to build the Lego. I have to build the Lego Discovery.
Uh-huh.
The shuttle. One of these days.
The Discovery is what's over here in Los Angeles.
Yeah, well, I have a Lego version of that I have to put together. It's like a zillion pieces. I have to put that together.
Well, actually, we have a full-size version of it.
Yeah.
In fact, it's so full-size version, it is.
Yeah, that's awesome. Awesome.
Cool.
I remember seeing. I don't know if it was Discovery. I don't remember now, but it was at the launch pad, and they had like this big this metal like cage around it at that time.
Well, they've got this sitting up on like piers where the landing gears are. So imagine the landing gears sitting on top of these concrete columns. So it keeps it way up off the ground, because when they first had it there, you could actually touch the
tiles and stuff.
The tiles.
Yeah.
And then because of the fibers and
You don't want to do that.
caustic properties of it, so now they got it up in the air. And then when we ended up going there to go see it, they had moved it, because what they have is they have a steps you go up, and then it runs the whole entire top. They can open the cargo bay, and then you can look down into the flight center on it, and then you just go down the steps on the other side. But they were doing work, and unfortunately, it couldn't get up there.
Yeah, I never got to see the shuttle launch. I'm so bummed, because we used to go down to Florida.
Me too.
We used to go to Florida like once or twice a year, because my grandfather lived down in Melbourne. So the Space Coast was, that was, easy peasy to get to Canaveral. And we had friends that they had friends that had a spot right across. You could watch the launches, and we went a couple of times, and they always got scrubbed or whatever, and never saw it. And it wasn't meant to be.
Nowadays, it's another story. Falcon rockets are going up like left and right every other day, it seems like.
Yeah, it's getting busy up there.
Well, the awesome thing about it is they're reusing the first stage. You know, when you can come back down and the first time I saw it, I'm sure it was that way for everybody. It was like a total awe when you see that thing come down and it's landing there on the ship.
It's pretty. It's like a drone, right? Isn't that cool? That's like autonomous drone stuff right there.
But that ship is moving.
Yeah. And it didn't always work out so great for it either, but it's cool now.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing. Don't ever get distracted landing. I was out this morning. I went up there. I handed it to hat catch it. The wind just caught it a little bit of an angle. I went to turn it sideways. 6 slices right across my finger.
Ooh. Oh, you know what we were talking about? We were talking about that the other night. I think it was on John's live stream. Chainmail isn't a bad idea, or like a fillet glove.
Yeah.
You know, protect yourself. That's actually a really. I was kidding about that, but then when they said it seriously, I'm like, okay, so I guess that is a good idea. Just because hand catching is dicey, pun intended, sometimes.
Yeah.
I've always been, knock on wood, lucky at it because I. Like when Lori and I go to the mountains and stuff, you know, you're going to launch from a stream. I'm usually like, oh, let's go down. We'll climb down to that. Let's climb down to that stream bed there. And I'll launch the drone from there from my hand. She's like, hand launch? Yeah. And catch. Launch the drone. Got to get the shots, man. Risk it for the biscuit.
Yeah. I just worry more about the eyes. If something happens to the props and they hit something and then it shatters and it's splinters out and hit you in the eyes. That's what bothers me most.
Safety glasses or sunglasses.
Yeah.
I have sunglasses on all the time. That'll help.
Yeah, as long as they're not like carbon fiber blades or something crazy that win the battle.
That more like a Ginsu knife. You'll find pieces of your finger going on the ground.
Yeah.
Well, that's what happened. That's what happened here. You see this finger that's like this right here?
Yeah.
That went straight through a table saw. The whole finger came off.
Oh, that was your table saw accident.
Ooh,
that was my table saw accident. So but I don't think that happened with the drone. But table saw is pretty serious.
Well, the drone will make a mess. It'll draw blood. Okay, we've seen plenty of cases.
Yeah,
of
I'm sure it would.
Yeah,
I'm sure
they
it would.
deserve respect.
Drone
I'm scared to death of
RC.
the FPV drone. Scares the crap out of me. That thing is like that's like a food processor. Those blades are hard and they spin fast.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't want to get in the way of them.
See if I can do this.
Drone Life RC
Speaking of
shuttle 7 times launch. That'd have been awesome.
Yes,
James, I didn't get to watch the Finn video all the way through. Lori did, I think. I got to the point where you were almost going to do the surgery on it, and then I had to run out of the room, and Lori kept watching.
Oh, I got to tell you, I don't know the market on Finn. I don't know how well they are with their sales across the U.S., but I think if anybody owns a Finn, anyway, and this is what I talked with you offline. I think we talked offline. Maybe we talked online.
Yeah. About
but if anybody who,
Yeah,
this actually Finn is owned. The parent company is Hayward. Hayward's the biggest seller of pool parts and accessories. Everything from pumps to filters to accessories to cleaning, maintenance. They do all that. But they took over the Finn company. They own the Finn company. And like I said, I don't know how big this product is. It's a great product. I got to tell you, I did a lot of research before I bought this one. There are competitors that do similar things. Especially there are some that have a battery that can recharge on the inside. I don't know if they have a waterproof connector or it's sealed and you take it out and you do the rechargeable Li-ion type of battery or something like that. But they have those, but they don't have. When I select the product, I look at all of the characteristics of it. And what I like so much about the Finn was how it reported back, the way it reported back on your smart device. Very accurate. I like what it did for you with analyzing and making recommendations for. It was done really well. So that's why I selected it. But the only thing you couldn't do, you can't change the battery when the battery dies. But if there's a big market for that, there needs to be like a retrofit kind of kit similar to what I did. And I think a lot of people will be really surprised because I think it's about $300. I think it's about $300 for that product.
Rubber
they want you to
stopper
throw
and
it away. They want
That
you to
is
throw it
foolish.
away when the battery dies inside there.
Yeah, that's not responsible because there's plenty of there's plenty of stuff out there that has rubber seals and stuff that it's not really submerged in the pool very deep, and there are ways to seal that.
I researched and I said, God, somebody has had to come up with this. After I got inside it and tore it apart and saw what makes this thing tick, I said there has to have been somebody who's done a video on replacing the battery in this device. There was nobody, nothing. I couldn't find it on bulletin boards. I couldn't find it on YouTube. I couldn't find it on Google. I think we were probably the first one to expose this capability. So we'll see how that video goes. I think if it gets picked up, I don't think I have the right keywords. You know, when you put a YouTube video, you put your little title inside there.
Yeah.
Tag words.
Your little bait thing that brings people in, and it's supposed to make sense. And I forgot what I called that, but I think I need to change that so that anybody else that's looking, maybe how to change the battery and something. How to is a big catchphrase that people always are putting in for a search mechanism. I think it'll go real good, but it was relatively easy to do something very simple. I want to share something with you, and this is this is actually raw footage that's going to be edited later on and put in a episode of mine. And you remember I told you my generator went Tango Uniform last year in November, right? It exploded. Remember I told you it exploded? Well, after we had 3 brownouts here just recently, very close, almost back to back, and it's ridiculous. And I forgot that rainy season here presents a problem because rainy season happens during the summertime when there's more consumption on energy and electricity inside the Philippines. Plus, we have the rain, which is a complication, which causes lots of brownouts because of the poor infrastructure here with electricity. So Ness told me, she said, you needed to do something about the generator. You either need to get a new generator or you need to fix that darn generator. You need to do something. So I did what they call an ocular here. It's an inspection. I love your expressions, man. So I did an inspection, and I want to show you what I found, and this will be edited later on. This is raw footage. It will be edited for whatever the progress, because I actually contacted who I purchased it from. It's a big box place like Lowe's here. It's called Wilcon. We bought a lot of our stuff here from Wilcon for the house, and they're sending somebody out on Monday to see whether it's something that they want to send back to their repair facility up in Manila. And I got to get an estimate cost and what it would cost to fix it. But I'm going to launch the video. I'm not going to add the audio to it. And I'll just explain what I found. And I think you're going to be very surprised. So let me do share.
While James is doing that, hey, let's try to get some more people to become members of this channel. You get all kinds of neat perks. Chuck can tell you about the video that I put up, non-PC jokes, yes.
They aren't for the weak.
Alrighty.
So this is the side of the generator. I actually took apart this generator, front, back, side, panel, everything. But this is what tells the whole story right here. Here, let me start up the. So I want you to look inside. That AVR that's crooked to the bottom left right there. It's not supposed to be crooked. That's connected to the crankcase. That big hole is the crankcase where the piston and the crankshaft. Can you all see that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so that big hole, if I have pictures, you can't see it from here. But underneath, if you look underneath, that's part of the crankcase. So it blew.
Oh my God.
That's not good.
Yeah. So when I told you there was oil all over the floor inside there, it's because the entire crankcase, which is the engine, the housing for the engine,
It's done.
the
It blew out.
piston.
Look at that. The whole side's blown
Oh, it just
out.
totally, yeah. So that is why my generator failed. What caused that to fail? Again, I think that was my fault. Here, I'll stop now. I don't think I got much further on that one. So what failed on that was you're only supposed to do a continuous runtime of a maximum of 8 hours. We ran that a day and a half during one of those typhoons last November when the pool was being built, and I overextended it, and it had a catastrophic failure as a result of that.
Yeah, Chris
So
hit it on
I need to.
Chris hit the nail on the head. You threw a rod.
No, it didn't. It didn't throw. No, it didn't throw
No?
a rod because I went up inside there, and the flywheel. You can turn the flywheel. You can feel the compression. You can see the rod, which is underneath the piston itself,
the connecting rod,
and it's running on
it.
the. It's running on the. Yeah, it's on. Yeah, the connecting rod on the crankshaft. It's going up and down. You can see it going up and down. So I believe that part, but something else went wrong inside. I'm not really sure, or maybe
just a bad casting.
Maybe a bad casting.
I mean, it shouldn't have go like that.
As a result of the aluminum casting of the engine itself, parts of the shrapnel inside there, when it blew, went inside, and there's nylon gears inside there. There's metal
nylon. Ooh.
There's metal gears inside there, and what happened was a bunch of the tips of the gears got damaged with that. So I think the worst case scenario when it goes to the repair shop is they replace the engine. Of course, the engine is only a part, but it's probably the most expensive part of a generator.
Sure
then the motor connects to the rotor and the stator, which is what converts the mechanical energy into electricity.
Now, James, I got a question for you. Why such a short runtime? Is that just because of that particular model that they're saying don't run it over 8 hours?
It's not. No.
Or heat?
No. If you go back, this isn't a like the Generac that you can buy at Lowe's and Home Depot. All those bigger units that are like 15 kilowatt or 20 or 25 or 30 or 50 kilowatt. This is only a 6 kilowatt unit. It's
a small generator.
It's called a standby generator, and all of them, if you look at all of them, they have under the specs, and this is what people don't do most of the time. Of course, if you live in the United States, you don't have to worry about it, because rarely ever in the United States you have an outage more than seconds or minutes, or maybe at the worst case scenario hours, and that normally only happens maybe once a year, like in Charleston where we're originally from. You would go a year, no outage, nothing. The only time we would ever get an outage may be during a huge lightning storm, which we get in the southeast really bad, and most of the time of those, the electrical grid is so good, it will transfer you over to another part of the grid, and you only lose electricity for a millisecond or just for a few seconds, and the electricity comes back. Over here is that. So you probably don't use it as much in the U.S. You don't need something that has continuous
You're freezing up.
Like a commercial building,
James,
a store,
James, your connection,
hospital, something like that.
James, your connection is freezing up. You are freezing up.
He did a little bit. I think he's back now.
You're buffering.
He's buffering.
Am I back? I'm sorry. I learned my no more.
Tell Ness to turn off all that porn she's watching. Oh. Just kidding. Just kidding.
She is actually online. She's teaching right now, even though it's the weekend. It's Saturday night for you guys.
Is she streaming? That would explain why you guys have some bandwidth issues, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but because looking at the.
I was just kidding. That was out of line. I crossed the line. I'm sorry.
Looking at your video, that looked like to be. That's what I thought. It looked like a bigger generator. Looking at that video, it looked like a bigger generator.
Nah, it's only. I'm going to say, probably 36 inches deep, the width of it, by maybe 24 inches wide. It's a small.
Huge.
Okay, that's about what it is. Maybe it's a little bit smaller than that. A little bit smaller than that. I'm kind of guesstimating, but I'm not off by maybe a few inches. But it's a 6 kV, and it's enough to do the lights, the refrigerator, but not enough to run 24 hours a day. And my wife cooking on the stovetop and the oven at the same time. And that's what killed it.
Pretty heavy load, yeah. So it was working under a really heavy load for a long period of time, and kind of gave it up.
So the problem
they could
is
take 8 hours. I thought they could take 8 hours.
They can 8 hours is the maximum recommended continuous
like a tank
operation.
of gas. Typically, it's like a tank of gas.
Well, actually, this will run all day on one tank of gas. It'll run 24 hours on a tank of gas. It's really it's diesel. It's diesel.
Oh, that's why. Yeah. Okay, it's not a gasser; it's a diesel. So
it's diesel. So I have to decide whether it's going to be economically feasible when the tech comes out here on Monday. If it's under 50% the cost of the generator, then we'll go ahead and have the repair done. If it's over 50%, we'll just replace it with another generator.
That's sad, right?
One of the other things I had to do with it is I would have replaced it months ago, immediately after the typhoon and when it died. But what I find is all the generators everywhere in Lipa here that I've looked, the ones that are called ATS, automatic transfer switch, ready, which means they have a connector on the front. They don't show you the pinout for what the connector is, because you'll have like a 12 volt positive, 12 volt negative. You'll have a relay wire. So from the ATS, when you lose electricity, it goes to your starter relay and automatically starts up your generator. It will have, some of them have a frequency balancer. They will go to your AVR, and they will make sure that your voltage is stable before putting it inside your house grid, your internal house. And but I have the pinout for this generator, and I followed it back to all. I went on the back of the connectors, followed every wire to each one of the devices. But when you go to the stores here and you ask them, can I see the pinout? Because ours came with a pinout. It showed me what they were. And none of them, not one out of, I'm going to say 20 generators that I looked at in the Lipa area, different models. None of them with the manual, the operational manual, showed the pinout of the ATS.
That's crazy.
That would, yeah. So
Trade
what
secret.
I did,
proprietary.
Yeah, what I did, which was part of the video that you saw, that's going to be part of it, I did a mapping of what each one of the wires do on the back. So what I will do, if we can't get this generator repaired, the generator that I use for a replacement, brand new, I will go and open up the case, follow every one of the pins back to either the AVR, which gives you your frequency and your voltage regulation, the relay, the battery connections, and I'll repin it and rewire it myself so that it works with our existing ATS, which unfortunately we built into the wall. That's the reason. If it wasn't built into the wall and there were just cables hanging there, I would just use the ATS that would come with the unit. And then if it comes, but when they say ATS ready, they don't have an ATS. It doesn't come with it.
They charge you
and then in the
extra
Philippines,
for it.
well, not only do they charge you extra, is you'll never find it. That's the way it works here in the Philippines. That's how they roll. You go to the store, and they will sell you a product that requires something else to install it, but they don't have that part to install it here. They will sell you a product like a generator that's ATS ready, but they won't have the complementary ATS that goes along with it, and they don't know how to get a hold of it. So that's a big problem over here.
I think Art's eyes were watering before. Well, he's
going through one of his cough spells.
Yeah.
That's going to happen for next couple weeks.
Yeah, I heard you talking about bronchitis. I heard you talking about that.
Ooh, yeah, it's no fun.
I heard you saying, Chuck, when you were young, that you had it as a child, and I did too. I had it until
every year
about 20 years old. I had it until about 20 years old.
I thought I figured out the cure for myself. I started taking vitamin C, like supplements, but it sounds like it was just a coincidence. If yours, that's about when mine ended too, James.
And it's horrible, and it's very active at nighttime. I couldn't sleep at nighttime when I had this, and it lasted about a week. It took me a week to get over it.
took me like 2 or 3 weeks to get the crap out of my lungs. Once I got it, it was like it get set in there.
And that's what I remember the doctor saying to me. The doctor saying to me, this was very long time ago. Again, when I was in my teens.
Wait.
One of
Bill joined.
Hey,
welcome, Bill.
Thank you very much. Thanks for joining.
Cool. Now you can watch.
By the way,
Art's.
I empathize with you, Art, because I was a bronchitis sufferer, and like I was talking with Chuck also, and it's really miserable, really miserable.
Yeah. That's why, like I was telling Art, I know when I know and I feel the symptoms of it coming on, it's hello, doctor, and get on the zithromycin, and it just takes it away. Otherwise, it's a month to 2 months of what Art, 1 month for sure, just what Art is doing like that every single day.
Yeah.
Do we have a travel?
Well, it's got to be scary.
Oh, competition.
Yeah, Seth is from the Philippines.
Oh, I got to check out her stuff. I got to check out the competition.
Just about every day.
Oh, I can't keep up
really?
with that.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to check that out too.
Yeah.
I know.
So Monday they're coming out, James.
They're coming out on Monday. Yeah, they're coming out.
Oh, okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask a bottom line about what do they think the cost involved is on this. Again, it's like, remember I did the video on the Samsung TV. So I just don't want to get taken advantage of. I could actually, if I could order the part, I could replace the engine myself. I could do all that. I have all the tools necessary to do that. And I've done engine rebuild. Me and my dad, when I was growing up, we did engine rebuilding on heavy block, short block. We did all kinds of rebuilding. So if I had to, and even if I didn't have the tools, I could take take it in. If I had to have a seal press or something like that, I could go into town inside here and help somebody assist me with the special tools that I would need. So we'll see what they say, and we'll get it. There'll be a video on that once I compile. It's going to be over time because nothing is done quickly in the Philippines, as you probably aware from all of our discussions here. Even our pavilion, I'm still waiting. I shared with everybody that we're going to the pavilion project, and I'm still waiting on all parts from the U.S., parts from our wood, parts from our ironworks guy. The ironworks guy could not get the 12 gauge galvanized steel that I wanted to powder coat. He couldn't get it. He says he can't find any supplier so far inside the Philippines that he could get that gauge. 14 gauge is easy. 16 gauge is
12
easy.
is hard to find.
12 gauge. So we're going to do. He asked me, and the option that we're going BI black iron, and we're going to use a 12 gauge black iron. The only thing with black iron, and it's good. It's just as good because galvanized steel is nothing but an iron that's been coated with like a galvanization process on it. So what we're going to do, the only problem with BI is you have to make sure it's sealed properly, either an epoxy coating type of a paint, or what we're using is powder coating, which is it's like a electric magnetism that sucks the paint on. It's a very good process. It will really protect it, but you have to just make sure that the iron that it's going to is cleaned properly first, that it's like sandblasted. There's no oils from your skin. You have to do all of that to have a long-lasting finish that will prevent corrosion. So we'll see. That again, that's a long-term project that we have here, and I'm compiling all the video on that, which included the build of the model. You saw the model that I showed you
last week
or two ago. So so we'll continue with that. That's a long-term project on that one.
Well, Art, I've got to run. Thank you for having me in. I hope you feel better.
Thanks for coming in,
Chuck,
Steve.
good to see you. James, good to see you.
Steve, always
good luck on the generator. I hope maybe they can cover it under warranty, but I doubt it.
No, it's not. Yeah, it's not. Because I checked with them on that. because we bought that. You got to realize we bought that during the build when we built building here in 2007.
Okay.
That's right.
In 2017, that was because remember that was part of the integration when they were building the basement, which is the 1st level of the 3 floors.
Right.
I integrated the Cat 6 cable from the ATS all through the wall, all the way to the generator room. That's how I extended it out. That's why it's in a separate room from the common area, the open area, where we could close it up. We have ventilation. We have an exhaust inside that room, so it's nobody gets poisoning from carbon monoxide or anything like that inside the basement area.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, take
So
care.
it's out of warranty.
Everybody in chat, and good luck.
Take care,
We'll talk to
Steve.
you
Good
soon.
to see you.
Bye-bye.
All right, Steve. Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Later, Steve. And then there were 3.
And then there was, all right. I got to tell you, Chuck and I were going to cover you, man. If you weren't
he knows
safe enough, safe and well enough to be able to get inside there, we were worried about you really bad. We were gonna.
We need a cardboard cutout. We need a cardboard cutout of Art though, so you can put like. I need to get a screenshot so we can put them up like off to the side.
Yeah, get another computer set up, have it into the stream, and just have that picture right there with him just sitting right there.
Yeah, we could do that. We can.
Okay.
I'll have to work on it because I have a laptop just to my left. My laptop's to my left.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I was even prepared to start looking up facts for this day in history, and I was going to download your little wheel of spinning numbers. I was going to do that for you.
You were all out, brother. You were all in.
I am so dedicated to you, Art. That's how dedicated I am.
We don't have any toffee to give away, though. We're going to give away.
Well, we'll say that Art's going to give it away later on.
We'll Art's going to make good on it. Yeah,
we'll give Art the bill on that one.
We'll pass it on. That's actually a really good idea. Yeah, see, Art, you don't want to get sick on us because we'll just take over and you'll pick up all these bills and unpaid checks and stuff, and start writing checks. And
James, you gotta get Ness to do a video on how to make Turin.
Yeah, probably. As a matter of fact, what Ness told me yesterday, she was talking. She always makes comments about the channel, and one of the things she says, James, you have a lot of female subscribers. He said, and they're always asking questions that are non-DIY, not building type questions, and they're questions like about, oh, can you guys do more music? Where you play music together, or can you do more stuff like cooking? Or can you do more gardening stuff? And I'm like, yeah, you're right. We need to cater to our wonderful female audience that we have outside here.
There we
go. And you notice I haven't really done anything probably over the last 3 weeks. I've only done maybe a couple of videos inside here, but I'm doing all this stuff in the background, like the generator. Like today, I'm supposed to go out. You didn't see me the other day. I picked so many dragon fruit that were ripe all at one time, and I just had to pick them so quick. I didn't have the camera, but today, the dragon fruit back there. You see the dragon fruit on the raised bed garden. There's probably I'm going to say a dozen to 15 dragon fruit right now that are days away from starting their ripeness scale. So I think a couple of them in about 2 days.
Yeah, this Brad just jumped in and was saying hello.
Hey, Brad.
Hey, Brad. Well, remember last week you showed that superhero dude? Was it the hell was that dude's name?
That Superman? Was
so
Jupiter.
If you start looking Jupiter, that's it. I was gonna say Venus, but it's Jupiter. Wrong planet. Yeah, if you start looking like Jupiter, the chicks are gonna flock to your channel,
There you go.
You know what I did after we did that, and I showed that on there. Ness laughed about it, and then before we went to bed that night, I took my hair and I parted it a little bit on the side, and I kind of hung it over to the side,
on and like all that.
Yeah. And I kind of pumped up my chest as she laughed. She laughed. So who knows?
You gotta go all out. You gotta put the Speedo on and everything. Go all out, man.
Hey, I want to share. You know me. I'm show and tell. I'm show and tell. And
Well, don't show us the speedo. We don't want to see that.
Another one is you
What's
need
that?
to make lumpia. That's my other favorite.
Well, you know, I got to tell you,
Philippines.
my wife is probably one of the best cooks in the world. I got to tell you, she's probably and she can cook American, she can cook Spanish, she can cook Italian, she
It's
can
the cooking channel. It's
cook
coming.
Filipino, of course.
There you go.
She can cook Japanese, she can cook Korean, especially Asian food. She is like the best of everything, and gourmet. She makes gourmet meals all the time. But out of all the things, I hope she's not watching this right now. She's teaching right now, so I don't think she is. The only thing out of
Her head's
all the
swelling.
stuff, which is crazy, is her lumpia is so. I would say it's not the greatest, and it has to do. She makes it correctly. She rolls it correctly. She doesn't have the frying technique exactly down for the exact
Deep
heat
fry.
level. Yeah, the deep frying, because that there's a skill to that. There's a skill to the frying, and it's the temperature of the oil. It's how you roll it inside there so that it's the same color all the way around, so that it's crisp on the outside and tender on the inside. And still not quite, because we get so many times when she makes lumpia, it comes on the plate and it looks like, you remember Alien, when the alien came out of the stomach, the chest, and it blew
that was
up.
horrible. Watch him.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what the
little head thing
lumpia
came
looks
up.
like. Yeah, that's kind of what the lumpia looks like sometimes.
That's a
It
rough
explodes
scene.
on one side, and
you take a
Yeah.
bite of it and it just explodes on.
The later
Yeah.
scene in the movie when
she's gonna kill me for that.
when Sigourney Weaver was like in her wet top or whatever, that was in her undies. That was much better than that scene. Yeah.
She was half the movie. She's in her undies and
It was
her
great.
her
That was the
tank,
best.
her muscle,
Her little-
her
that's
tank
what I'm
top
talking
shirt,
about.
and
White beaters.
yeah, the wife beater, the
Not
wife
all that was
beaters,
getting
and
beat.
all right, Chuck, this is a family show.
I didn't say anything, did I?
We're gonna. I don't know if this is a delay. But sometimes you're gonna have to have that beep over and right over his face. I think sometimes. I think you're borderline sometimes.
I'm borderline. Yeah, see, borderline.
I
It's
think
like
border.
PG
Anyway,
13.
He's edgy. Ooh.
Yeah, I like to push the envelope though. Like the expletive that rhymes with my name and starts with the
what
letter
you
F.
got there, James?
Oh, James has something.
Okay, show and tell.
Breached.
Now,
Containment's breached.
today, yeah. Well, I did this because I knew I was coming out here, but excuse me.
It's contagious.
I'm catching it from you, Art.
Yeah.
I'm catching
Computer
it from
virus.
Oh.
It's a computer
Anyway,
virus.
The plan today, I was really expecting, I'm really hoping it would be here yesterday, is, remember I told you last time, I am replacing this with the iPad mini that has I think the A12 chip inside. Yeah, for the Air 2S,
I gotta practice.
And
when
I've been tracking from Apple. I actually ordered it from Apple, and it's sitting somewhere in Manila right now, and it takes forever. It takes forever for your Apple product, because I've ordered, and I went Apple crazy over. I know, Chuck, close your ears, turn your headphones off.
I'm gonna put my Android up to my ears and cover it up with Android.
I went Apple crazy here, and I'm gonna tell you a little short story, but we'll get back to this in just a minute. So you remember that movie with Robert Downey Jr. Tropic I think it was called Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder. I remember he has a
movie.
There were so many good catchphrases inside there. One of my favorites is You never go full retard. You know that saying. It's like
Yeah.
never go full
Now
retard,
who's going
right?
non-family?
Well, it's.
That's
I'm
a
just
touchy
quoting.
word here
I'm
in the
just quoting. I'm just quoting. I am just quoting. That's a quotable movie quote. Anyway, I kind of went.
Yeah.
I kind of went full Apple in the past couple of weeks. I just went Apple crazy, and I did things that I said to myself, and I promised to myself I would never do this. I would never fall for the Apple hype and all these different kind of things. And so what I ended up doing, you knew I ordered the iPad Mini as a suitable substitute instead of buying the smart monitor that they have for the Air 2S, because if you use the controller, the smart controller, if you use the controller that comes with the Air 2S, you have the 4 antennas inside, and it will give you better distance and connectivity than going and upgrading to the smart controller. It's much better doing that. So I wanted something small, bigger than the phone, but smaller than these huge tablets.
So the Mini.
And the iPad Mini satisfies all the requirements for the power, display size, and everything.
James, is that a 7-incher? Is that what that is? Like a 7-inch diagonal?
I think it's 7 3/4 diagonal, something like that.
Yeah, it's a nice size tablet.
And I got the little adapter, the little thing that pops up that you normally put your phone in, and that's not high enough to go for the tablet. I got the little adapter, and we'll show that on a video coming up. But after I got that, then I realized after I got that, I went back and Murphy's Law, when I bought this laptop, this MacBook Pro, 1 month after I bought this has the Intel processor. 1 month after I bought this, they came out with the M1. That's
the
superior.
M1 is ridiculous.
That is so superior. So I bought this one. So I got to wait another 7 years before I refuse to do the upgrade on and off like
Jeff.
that.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jeff.
So anyway, I did. I bought the iPad Mini. I bought the iPad Mini, and then I don't know if you noticed, I don't have my big headset like Chuck has on right now. My Bose noise.
You've upgraded.
These are AirPods. These are
they're
Apple
AirPods.
and they're great. And they have noise. They have noise canceling. Well, I was worried. Because I bought this on Lazada, and it was half the price of ordering it from. It was half the price of ordering it from Apple. Half the price. So I said to myself, as much as I order on Lazada, it cannot be OEM from Apple and all this kind of stuff. So I said, there's no, but I asked them on there, because you can chat with the seller. And I said, is this original? Yes, of course, this is original. So I ordered it because it was half the price or less, maybe a third. I think a third the price of. So I said, there's no way it can be, but for a third the price, if it works and it's not an original, but it sounds good and it's decent, it's a deal. It's a deal. So I did after I bought it. I should have done it before, but I did it after. After I bought it, I researched on how to tell the difference between fake, counterfeit Apple products, specifically the AirPod Pro, and the real one from Apple. And most of the main things that you really have to look out for is on the back of the case, and it's marking. It's the writing that goes on there. That's how you can tell. The counterfeits don't take the time on the outside of the case to put the Apple logo, the numbers, all that stuff on the inside of the case when you open. This is a waterproof with the case on the inside. But on the inside, you can't see, but I don't think you can see. Can you see writing? See the writing in the top up there?
Just barely, yeah. James. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the counterfeit doesn't have any writing inside there. And there are some other things. There are some other things like with the connections inside, connections on the AirPods themselves, the connection inside the case, the writing. There's several things that will flag you whether it's real or not. Well, it came in when it came. And by the way, this was free from the seller. This little it's not a waterproof case, but it's a
little silicone.
If you want to stick this on your belt, because this is what charges it. It has a battery in here that will charge your.
Yeah, those are really
if you're
cool.
away from charging it. It's cool.
They're really cool tech. Everybody's copied those.
Yeah. So anyway,
Basically.
so when I loaded the software and I synced it, everything exactly registered with Apple. The case it comes in is all Apple with Apple logos and everything like that. It said it was recognized. The serial numbers was recognized. So
Cool.
I think they're real. I think they're real Apple, and I'm real happy with them. The noise canceling is phenomenal. I have to have noise canceling because I have hearing loss and tinnitus, and the noise canceling helps me out tremendously. But it works. It works. So that was my story. So, well, we're talking about going full Apple that I would never
We
have done
can't
this
hear
before.
you, James.
All I hear is a high pitched sound. Like James, I have the same thing as you, brother. Too much rock and roll.
Oh, you were making a joke. Oh.
And I actually have the same thing you do from too much rock and roll as a kid. Yeah.
Too much rock and roll and sitting in a communication van 24 hours a day in a deployed location with a high frequency motor right next to me, because where I lost most of the hearing is this here right here, and this is where the van that I used to sit in all the time.
Source. That was the source.
Yeah, I was in a satellite van for years, and the motor was right here to my right, and I lost 80% of hearing in this right ear inside here. So
I was at a concert in seventh. I was in seventh grade, and I wore earplugs, but I'd forgotten them to this one concert. It was at a roller skating rink, and it was this band called Duke Jupiter that nobody cares about, and they were so flippin' loud, and I was like, that's what got me. That concert.
Well, I should have also. We did a lot of years of rock and rolling with very loud amps when I didn't use hearing protection. I really wish I would have done that.
I used to wear headphones that were open air little. Remember the ones that Sony had that slid into your ears, but they had the I wore those and blasted out the lawnmower. I cut the lawn and had that music louder than the lawnmower. That didn't help me either. Sorry to interrupt, but yeah.
Well, let's get back to my Apple saga.
Well, I gotta tell my hearing story. I have autosclerosis.
Autosclerosis.
You don't know what that is? That's where you have calcium formation on the little tiny bones in your ear. So I've had surgery on both ears.
Like blasted out of there?
Well, it's like having a dental drill in your ear.
That must be very unpleasant.
And they grind away the.
Oh my God! How do you take that without this could be painful because it's such a high.
And unfortunately,
local anesthesia.
And those are very small. I mean, that mechanism in our ears is.
They had to replace the teeny tiniest bone, the stirrup that goes between.
That's the one
the bones.
Yeah, that connects
your middle ear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It goes to the cochlea. I didn't say that real fast.
I remember those terms.
I remember those stuff too. And I remember the cilia, the little hairs in your hearing canal, ear canal. That's what transmits the high frequency. And I remember reading an article that said that as long as you didn't subject them to more than 53 seconds of high decibel abuse, they would survive. But if it was an excess of 53 seconds, they started to they'd constrict off the blood and die. Yeah.
The ear bones connected to the neck bone. Neck bones connected to the. Anyway, so I will tell you also. I will
take it away.
Well, I will. I will tell you also. I had 3 things that really caused my hearing loss, and the worst one, which I blame a lot of it on the high frequency of the motors inside the satellite van. But prior to that, the worst event that I ever had was one single event. When I was preteen, my coordination was never really that great when I was a little kid. And one of the things that I did, I was living on a farm at the time, and me and my cousins we had firecrackers. We always had firecrackers on the farm. Very rural South Carolina. And then I did one of these things. I lit a match. I lit the firework, and I was getting ready to throw it.
And for some reason, ignited right by your head.
No, I threw the match thinking that the match was my the firework, and I'm holding the match here, but it wasn't a match, it was a firecracker, and it blew up 12 inches. It blew up 12
that's a
inches
problem.
from my ear. And that's where I had like 48 hours. I had the ringing in my ear and two very sore, very sore fingers. And ever since, that's when I lost probably the biggest amount of hearing, because when you destroy those nerve endings, they never grow back. They never grow back.
Well, nerves can come back, but it takes.
105 dB is
that's
you can't elevated. You have to wear earplugs, and you're supposed to 105 dB. You're supposed to wear earplugs and the hearing protection over the top of
the Mickey Mouse ears over them. Yeah, because the little earplugs. I think they only attenuate like 20 decibels or something.
Yeah, because I used to do aircraft maintenance.
Too elevated. Yeah, right. I mean, they would take you down. That would take you down to like 82. That would take you to 82, but that's still too high.
Yeah, when I had to go right up to the engines, to the aircraft when they were running on the airfield, and we had to wear both. We had to wear both the plugs, the foamy plugs.
Yeah,
and then
the Mickey Mouse ears, the great big
the Mickey Mouse on top.
I still have a pair of those. I made my own NASCAR headphones out of it. I took old broken headphones and put the elements inside those Mickey Mouse ears and drilled holes. And back when I was ingenuitive.
Okay, so I'm gonna forget this. If we keep talking about this, I'm gonna forget. So I said I said I went with the iPad, I went with the AirPods, and then this is what I said. I would never fall for Apple's hype. I love Apple products, but I know when they have hype sometimes. And you remember when the Apple Watch first came out? It was all hype to me. It was all hype. It was cool. It was neat, but there was nothing compelling at all for me to buy the Apple Watch. I'm not a watch person anyway. You see, I never wear it. I don't wear jewelry except for this right here. And this is unusual for the Philippines, because you'll see almost every man in the Philippines wears a watch. And so anyway, I'm not a big watch fan, but
love my
when I bought the AirPods and I was on the Apple website, and they have probably one of the best marketing websites of they're like DJI. I'll compare DJI and Apple side by side when it comes to their marketing.
DJI is taking that page out of the Apple playbook, basically.
Probably. So anyway, when I was on there, I've been looking at. I'm like, I haven't. I've been working so much here in the Philippines and doing DIY projects. I really haven't looked at Apple in a long time. And I don't want to get messed up doing what I did when I bought the MacBook Pro. Oh, and the MacBook Pro. This is another. So this was just before. This was right before the iPad. The iPad that I just bought. iPad Mini. So anyway, no, this isn't the M1. I missed out on the M1 because I didn't know the M1 was coming out. I didn't see any of the hype because I haven't been keeping up with it. So when I was on the Apple site, I saw the Apple Watch, and I just decided to go and look at it. What's going on with the Apple Watch these days?
That's how it starts, man. Just gonna look at it.
And that's all it took. And normally I don't get sucked in. I don't normally get sucked in. I can see. I usually see all the smoke and the flags and everything like that. And I got on there, and when I looked at the health, what they're doing now for health, monitoring your oxygen blood level, your EKG, your heart rate, your blood pressure, all these, oh my God, all these different things inside there. And then I saw some of the applications where this has been working like this for quite a long time, where the phone will, if you have your phone in your pocket, you can take your call on you don't even have to take it out of your pocket. Like Dick Tracy, back in the day.
Yeah. Here it is, man. You've got it.
Well, here it is. But the thing that made me say, was the health monitoring stuff they have inside there. And I've been really bad about. I work here. Remember during the pandemic, I am here in this yard, in this backyard, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I only really leave maybe a few times a month to get out of here. And I'm like, I really need to start doing some jogging. I need to do some exercise. And it has some excellent apps to track your progress, and it basically it motivates you to become healthy. Because if you have something there, you're like, I want to try this out. And then of course, if you have a competitive nature, then you say to yourself, I want to improve upon this. That's your motivational factor right there. And it also gives you a better health and lifestyle. So that's one of the reasons that I'm purchasing that I purchased. So I went ahead and ordered one. I ordered it's called the Series 6. Okay, so that was my binge on all these Apple products. But I have to tell you, I'm so disappointed because I didn't do my homework again. I ordered the 6, which is right now, it's probably the best one that you can get to do all the things that you want. They have 3 models they sell, the 6, the 3, and what's called the SC. That's what's available on the market now, brand new from Apple. But I didn't realize, like I didn't realize when I bought my MacBook Pro, right around the corner in the next few months, they're coming out with the Series 7. The Series 7. And the Series 7 for them is what they're calling a breakthrough. They're breaking the mold, because if you look at everything from the original Apple Watch to the Series 6, they're all that rectangular square.
They're going to be like this, like a real watch?
I can't believe this. Siri just came on. So the new one nobody knows
like
exactly.
A real watch?
Well, the new one. Well, this is what I did. I looked. You know how all these people are the spies,
Android,
Apple spies, and they try to get into the factory and they try to, get in. Well, nobody really knows 100% for sure from what I can see, but they said it's going to be a total redesign, and some of what people are showing on all these spy websites is like. It looks like maybe they're going to offer the round. It will look like more of a traditional watch inside there. And they're supposed to be doing a different type of technology. They don't know if it's coming in the Series 7 or possibly the one after. Because right now, I think they use, and don't quote me on this, I think they use OLED technology for the screen. But they're supposed to be
use less
power. But they're supposed to be, there's supposed to be a newer one that's thinner, uses less power, which will enable them to increase the battery size, because I think the battery life on the one that I just purchased is 18 hours. So basically, when you go to bed at night, you put it on the charger, and it does that induction type charging. You don't plug anything in, like the new phones, the Android phones, and the new iPhone. All
wasteful but convenient.
You set it on top. Yeah.
The OLED's really nice though, because if you have a black background, all those pixels are turned off, so you save all that power.
Yeah.
Plus,
well, I'll tell you right now, out of all the Samsung TVs that we have installed in our house here at Villa Feliz, the only one that, and I have to knock on whatever this material is right here on the table, but the only one that has not failed because of a surge from a brownout. We talked about brownouts and AVRs last week. Is my OLED TV. That's the only one that has not failed out of all the Samsungs where I had to have the display.
You just jinxed me, man. You jinxed me. My OLED's getting goofy. My Sony OLED's getting a little goofy. The darker scenes, they look really grainy and goofy, and I'm not sure if it's something with the signal or the TV itself. I'm really not sure how to troubleshoot it. But Lori wants a 65 anyway. I got a 55, and she wants a 65. So I don't think she.
But we have a 65 upstairs and a 75 in the basement. The 75 was the one that I showed you that they're behind the tiki bar.
Yeah.
And I don't know that I can tell much of a difference between the 65 and the 75. I don't know.
That's a big screen size difference, though. I mean, 10 inches in the diagonal, that's huge.
Yeah. And I'm not really sure. Well, yeah, I can say the OLED is better than the LED. I will tell you that the
OLED is better for dark for black levels. It's more like a CRT than even the best localized dimming of an LED won't be as good as OLED, because OLED is just like a CRT. In fact, it gets burnt in like a CRT. That's one of its weaknesses. You can burn them in.
So our whole story. Our whole story started. With this. And it was about purchasing stuff, and I wanted to show you drone footage with the Air 2S this weekend. If the iPad Mini would have come in, so I could have given you some more better than what I did last time, because I used the phone, which was so jacked up.
Yes.
Okay, can you cut that for me? Can you cut that for me?
Freaking tease, James the tease.
Oh, okay. There you go. Okay, so thank you, Art, for that assistance. So what this is, and it's nothing really special, and I was going to save it for a box opening on my channel, but
Bill.
no big deal. No big deal. I got so much stuff that I can share. So anyway,
He's teasing us.
this a bag in a bag. So we'll open up this bag. So I didn't buy the combo. Remember, you can buy the Air 2 with the combo unit that gives you extra blades, extra batteries, and a case.
And a case, yeah.
So I bought this. This is like a shoulder. We can carry it over your shoulder. I'm sure inside it has a strap. But this is, I haven't even opened it, so if it's what it looks like inside the... Okay, so anyway, inside you can see is where you put your batteries, you put your controller. And what I liked about this one is the controller sits vertical inside here, where a lot of the other ones lays flat this way. I really wanted something that would be... And had you don't have to take your sticks off of your controller. This one, you don't have to do it. It fits inside these slots inside here. And this is compatible. I don't know if it's compatible with both the Air 2 and the Air 2S. But it said, when I had to choose, it said, did you want the Air 2S option or the Air 2? And I said the Air 2S. And this is what they sent me. So I guess you pull these little styrofoam things out. Yep. So anyway, this is...
Question. That doesn't look like that'll accommodate a smart controller, just the original RC, or will it accommodate
not a smart
controller?
Yeah, the original. No, because I do not plan to do like I did with the Phantom. The Phantom, I got the Plus because the Plus came with the smart controller, and I love the smart controller. I love the smart controller on the Phantom, the Phantom 4. I would not, because if you go back with the old one, it's still only 2 antennas on the old one, so you don't get any. But you get so much of a boost of the vivid colors and bright lights outside. The smart controller on the Phantom 4 is definitely the way to go. But what did not sell me about any of the Mavic, all the new products that are coming out with the smart controller, is you can't take advantage of the OcuSync for the 4 antennas on there, because it's only built into the original controller that comes with the device.
Yeah.
Not the add-on. And I've read so many reviews that people say they're so disappointed with the smart controller because of the distance, the lack of distance that they can fly, the disconnects, and
in the US or overseas. By the way,
no, on all. Now you go, even if you go on the DJI site, on the site, you'll look at the comments of people complaining. You go on YouTube, look at all the reviews, and the majority of the reviews say there's sync problems. A delay that they feel it's not natural, like they felt on the previous models or the original model that comes with it. And so that's what steered me away from getting the smart control, which doesn't mean that the smart controller won't be fixed with firmware updates and software updates in the future. It's a good chance. Yeah, there's a good chance. So
no, I've heard those too. I've heard those too, James. The concerns with the latency issues that's been spoke of, and I've heard there are ways to reduce it, but you never really get rid of it. Yeah. As far as the range, though, I think here in the United States, even if you use just the 2 antennas, because OcuSync 2 versus 3, like your drone has OC3, it's not as significant in the States, but it is significant, overseas when you have the CE limitations on the penetration art.
So I will do a follow-up once I get comfortable, because remember I told you I got to wait till the iPad mini comes in. I have to change some of the settings because I don't like, I'm used to, we all we get used to the way we set up things, the colors on your TV, the brightness on your TV, your sticks, how it responds, your responsiveness to the aircraft itself. So I want to get those all, because remember I told you the default settings are not the same default settings from the Phantom. The Phantoms for me, and I won't say that they were perfect out of the box, but that's what I got used to, and I'm comfortable with that. Quicker response for the gimbal, for the camera pointing and everything like that. And I want to set it up for the A2S. I want to set it up the same way. So once I get all that and I'm comfortable with it, I want to readdress and revisit the Volcano, because the Volcano, we've been having activity with the Volcano out in Taal. and I want to go back and I want to test the distance, because the best place to test the distance on an aircraft is over water. You have no interference from buildings or electromagnetic forces and stuff like that, especially like that. So I'm going to do a comparison between the Phantom 4 and the Air 2S with that regard. So I don't know when I'm going to be able to do that, but probably in the next couple months, I'm hoping.
I was hoping to get the trim straightened out, because I know you were saying it was pretty touchy. Everything, the controls are very touchy, and you should be able to trim those and settle it right down.
Yeah.
So it's more buttery than it is right now. I'm sure you can.
Thunderbird 6 comes to us from
Australia. Hello world. My favorite.
Australia.
Australia.
Yep. Oh.
Nice. Down under.
I haven't seen.
I think I watched Greg's last show, or I think I did watch Greg's last show. No, it wouldn't be the one before then. I haven't seen.
Saucy dude.
Yeah,
I haven't seen
a fly-in where people could come on his show and they could show the video footage from their drone.
I did that. I did that with Greg. He sent me the RTMP.
Yeah.
I think the RTM. The link, and I was able to real-time stream from the Phantom 4 on his show one day, and it came out pretty good. Good.
Cool. Yeah, I don't think Steve's wrong there. I mean, the smart controller it's an old device. It's been out coming up on 2.5 years. In July, it'll be 2.5 years that thing's been out, and OC3's out. Yeah, it's the end of that thing. There's probably a Smart Controller 3, but they're going to hold back until whatever replaces the Mavic 2 series comes out. Its successor is going to bring that to the table too. This is my hunch. Maybe I'm wrong, because I like to think I know what the hell I'm talking about with DJI, but they've got me beat. And I'm not an Apple guy, so I can't follow the tricks that Apple does that DJI follows.
Yeah.
But they're getting a little bit of heat though on their mini lineup, because Hubson, if they get the thing to work right, they have a pretty good adversary. They have a good competitor for the Mini 2. Better camera.
Oh, all right. I gotta look and see if I can find it. I saved a couple of screenshots, and it has to do. It's other. I guess it's okay. to repost from bulletin boards and other people's comments. And there was just a couple of funny, really funny comments. And let me see if I can find. I don't know if I.
Sorry, Bill.
Oh yeah.
I gotta see if I can find.
I'm jealous.
Oh, why does this stupid Siri on here?
We made guacamole
saying
earlier.
some
It was
type
really
of a
good, by the way.
keyword.
While he's doing that,
Oh,
Lori
here,
and I made fresh guacamole before your show.
Ooh,
Yeah,
ooh.
it's really,
I
really
love
good.
guacamole.
Oh, it was good.
You'll see the next video that I do. The next video that I'm going to do here, maybe this morning, after I get done here, is I got to show you, because I haven't been showing the growth of what's been going on in the garden here lately. My apple guava tree is so full of the most. Remember my Jurassic Park lemons?
Yeah, I remember those. They're mostly
trees?
skin,
The ones that
though,
are size,
aren't they? But they were mostly
size of a
skin
foot.
when you cut them open.
They're mostly skin, but how can you take one lemon and make a full pitcher of lemonade from one lemon? So it's
pretty awesome. It was pretty awesome though when you call them that. I would have called them Chernobyl Farms myself, but you call them Chernobyl Farms.
But I got to show you the size. Maybe I'll get my my measuring tool and I'll measure how many millimeters the size of these apple guava. They are huge. I mean, they are huge, and they're so big. What's happening? One of them has five, and they're all in a bunch. and it broke the branch. It's so heavy, it broke the branch that was
Wow.
going on.
Oh boy.
I don't. I think you can. I think you can. I think it's okay to share this. I don't think there's any problem. I'm gonna. I want you to read this. This was funny. From one of the. I don't remember. Let's see. Does it say what it is? It's a bulletin board. It's a bulletin board.
Water empty.
Yeah. So read this right here. I think you'll find this fun. Well, you might want to read it first before you. Oh, you already shared it. So. I love the response. There.
Droniac.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's one of your group, but it was recent because it was April of this year. I love his response. I remember being excited about my 3 ex-wives.
Yeah, poor guy.
I don't want another wife, but I wouldn't mind a new heir too when it arrives. Anyway, I thought it was funny enough for me to capture that. And there was another one. I might not share it. It was pretty long. If I saved it, maybe I didn't save it. It was hilarious, but it was a long. I'm not going to share it. I can't find it. It was a long read, but some of the responses these people put on these bulletin boards are absolutely hilarious.
Yeah.
It's like some of the responses some of the guys here in the comment chat over here on the side. Some of the stuff that they say is hilarious. I miss a lot, and sometimes I'll go back. Sometimes I'll go back after you've closed out and you've saved your video, and I'll go back and I'll look at the comments because sometimes I'm so focused on the discussion here, I miss the comments get rolled up underneath and I don't get to see some. Some of the stuff is pretty funny here.
I'm really glad I just have wife version 1.0. I don't really want to deal with the expense of upgrading from, or you shouldn't even call it an upgrade. Right there, that's going to create a problem right there. It's just saying upgrade after wife 1.0 because there is no upgrade there. Mm-hmm. I'm already in trouble. I know. I can feel it. I can feel get kicked in the nuts in a little while.
Not going there.
It's too late. I can backpedal all I want. I'm screwed. Yeah. And I'm out of water too.
Yeah. Well, this is Chuck, nighttime for you, right? Normally, don't you normally have like a glass of wine or?
You're still waiting for wife 1.0?
What's that?
Yeah. I'm still waiting for wife 1.0. And I don't know when I'll be able to get to the Philippines.
Maybe just have girlfriend, whatever version you're on. It's cheaper when the things don't work out.
Well, you're okay. You're okay, Art, because I dated Ness for 5 years before we made the final decision to close the deal. Yeah, it was 5 years. So you're only on this girlfriend. I think you're what, 1 year, 1.5 year on this girlfriend, if I remember correctly.
Maybe more than that.
Plus a T. Yeah, because I remember your.
I'm in trouble. See, I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
Lori be like, what do you mean upgrade?
Chuck, you better keep this one because with some of the comments that you make sometimes, and as forgiving as Lori is, I don't think you're gonna find too many really forgiving ones like Lori.
No, not only that, she's the one who's really she's dug right into this whole vlogging thing. So where am I gonna find another one like her anyway? She's all for it.
She's definitely.
Let's go vlog. She wants to fly the FPV drone and hopefully not. She says she won't wreck it. And I'm like, well, I just have to have faith that she won't.
Chuck, wives love dish towels.
Lori is not typical because she's atypical because I remember I told you I bought her a Roomba for Christmas a long time ago. And everybody at work said, "Ooh, you bought her a Roomba. She's going to hate you." She loves the Roomba. And then there was another time I bought her a KitchenAid mixer and they're like, "You bought her a KitchenAid mixer?" She's like, yeah, that's what she wants. She's like, you don't get her that. She's gonna hate you. No, she loves the KitchenAid mixer too. So far, I'm doing okay with just. I'm just saying those are just two examples. These I'm okay. Yeah.
Oh, and Art. Oh, by the way, great fishing videos. And I honestly didn't know which end of the line had the reeling going on. I don't know if you were pulling or the fish was pulling you back from the dock there. And when you brought it in, if you'd have weighed both of you side by side on a scale, I think you'd have been pretty close with each other on the weighting side there. So I don't know who was the sportsman on that one or the sports fish on that one.
Now I used the Osmo Pocket. I used the GoPro 7 and the 5 on that video. So it turned out pretty good.
I just did an update last night. I was planning, but it takes so much time to set up, and I haven't proofed it yet. And the worst is what I did today. Come out here so far without checking to see what my bandwidth is going to be way out in the air. But I updated the firmware on my GoPro 8 because the GoPro 8 and the GoPro 7. I'm not sure about. I don't think the early. I think it starts with 7, 8, and now the new 9. You can use. There's an app GoPro put out about a year ago, so that you can make your GoPro a webcam, and it'll replace. It's much better. Remember, we did it, but we had so many problems. Remember with the MacBook Air, and I thought the MacBook Pro would fix those, but I tried it, and even with the new MacBook Pro, which is maxed out on the processor and the memory, because we got like 32 gig of memory inside here with the fastest Intel processor for the MacBook Pro for the 13. I still saw latency problems and buffering with the GoPro, and that was under the 2.0 firmware. They upgraded to a 2.5. I don't know what happened between 2.0 and 2.0. I hate when they do that. I want to see what they fixed all along the line. But I installed last night. I installed the 2.5, and I was going to use the GoPro out here this morning on a tripod and replace the Facebook camera, which is only 720. It's only 720, and that's what kills me about Apple. They have all this great technology, and yet they're still using the same resolution for the Facebook camera on their new MacBooks, the MacBook Pros, that they did 10 years ago. Still 720p. So they make it. Anyway, I didn't want to use that because I haven't proofed it yet, but maybe next weekend. Then,
there you go.
I will try using it, and I'll be back up on the porch or in the tiki bar downstairs or something like that where I'm connected much better to the router. We'll see how that works.
Tiki bar. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. My basement is such a mess. I have mechanics tools laid out all over for that stripping of the generator the other day. I still have the display screen from the bad TV. Remember when they came out and replaced it? That huge box. It's the same size that the TV actually comes in. That's sitting down there. I got my neighbor who's probably watching right now. I got all of his boxes inside there for his ballot buying boxes, and waiting for him to start his build and arrival here in the Philippines. I've got the truck is in the basement. 2 workbench tables are stuck out in another spot. I got to get down there and clean.
Broken.
Yeah, it took me forever to figure out how to take this door off. It's a lot harder than it is on the 5.
Really. I have the 5, 6, 7, and 8, and well, the 8's it's a different door. The 5, 6, and 7 have the same door with the same type of U clip on there that you.
That's what
you're afraid if you pop.
Uh-oh.
What? A lizard.
Uh-oh.
She's so afraid.
We need a picture of the lizard. Yes,
so afraid
tell Ness to get a
just,
picture of.
Yeah. But we have lizards in 3 sizes here. 3 sizes. Regular lizards like we have in the U.S., like this size. Then we have tucot that are this big. And then we have biawak, which are this big. That looks like those dragon things that you see in the weird. Dragons? Like look, I think it's a descendant. At least they say. I think it's a descendant of the monitor. Uh-oh, what happened here? Oh, no, I didn't want to do that. I'm still learning. So there's a button that you could push for some reason on these AirPods, and if you push the button, it goes into a music mode and starts playing music on your. Yeah.
Good night,
but yeah, she's afraid of everything. She's afraid of the lizards and spiders and worms, and so basically, unless she's in the pool, she's not really in the backyard too much.
Oh my God, it's already 9:30.
Right now with all this rain, what happens during the rainy season, and the ground starts getting saturated, everything that lives in the ground starts coming out from the ground because the water starts saturated, which includes worms and ants. And then we have the event that we have every year here during about this time when we have lightning. And it's the gamu gamo, and that's the big ants that they say they're termites, and they have the wingspan are about this big. I probably go in the swimming pool right now. Here, hold on a second, because I haven't cleaned out the pool this morning.
I gotta bug out soon. I said 9:30 was new. Well, speaking of Wife 1.0. I promise.
Ooh. Yeah.
Ah, gruesome.
Yeah. Okay. Imagine about a billion of these. A billion of these. And
they make soup.
And what they do, they're attracted to light. So you have to turn off all your lights. I have to turn off the lights. So we have landscape lights here. So they come out right after a lightning storm. At the beginning of rainy season, they hibernate in the ground and they wait for specific atmospheric conditions to emerge. And then they just kind of like spawn up out of the ground in the millions and billions. And they cover, you can't even see some of the security lights here sometimes. And they find a way to penetrate your house through any little I knew Chuck would like that. Any little crack around your screen door, your screen windows, they find any way to get inside. So you have to cut off all the lights in the house. You have to cut all the lights outside the house, and just hope they just get attracted to mainly the security lights and away from your house. Because I think what will end up happening, all these will fly, and then the new ones will go on the ground, and they make termite mounds are really destructive. They look like honeycombs underneath the ground, and whatever they do, they remove soil and they replace it with these honeycomb kind of things. And if you have wood, luckily our house is not made out of everything's concrete, UPVC and metal, so I don't really worry about. But our doors are made out of mahogany, and mahogany is termite resistant. And some of our doors, but they're really destructive over here, and you've really got to stay on top of it. And I got to work. And you can see, I don't know if here. I don't know. Can you see the ants down here? Can you see them? I don't know if you can see them. Around the edge of the owl stone right there, right on the edge. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
anyway, I see something moving. Yeah. When you got
so I have to. This is the time of year I have to treat. I have to treat them, and unfortunately, as much as I hate using pesticides, I'm going to have to. I ordered some.
Does 7 work?
Some pesticide.
Does 7 work?
Well, 7 work. Yeah, 7's actually pretty. Yeah, 7's pretty good, but 7's
mild.
normally used for vegetables. It's mild. It's because 7's
dries them out.
It's a low grade to keep things like grasshoppers and anything that are leaf eaters on your plants and vegetables in your garden. But you need something a little bit more heavy duty. They have something here. I think it's called
gasoline.
Malathion. I think that's the name.
Malathion.
Gasoline. Match.
Malathion. That's it.
Yep.
Yeah, Malathion. And it's very strong, but it also stinks so bad, and you have to be very careful with using it because it's a carcinogen.
Ooh.
So
I like Bill's idea. Get an anteater. That'd be fun for the whole family.
Yeah.
And be a fat anteater too.
And then when they talk, they kind of sound like Bernie Sanders.
Imagine if you could get one of those 360 Go-To cameras and attach it to your anteater and have an anteater cam.
Awesome. I still want to do that for the dogs. Well, I want to do a video, and it's gonna be Dog Day, and I just want to follow the dogs around all day and show you what the day in the life
of a
dog at Villa Feliz is like. I want to do that, but I got to do something like you do. I noticed in your videos, you have these little bands that go around your head.
Lori calls them my Rick. She said they look like Rick Moranis and Honey, I Shrunk the Kids when I wear that thing. It works good. Yeah, that was not expensive. That was only like, I don't know.
You get some really good videos. You get some good videos on it.
I told Lori that I just put it out there. I don't care what people think of me. I'm going to get the footage one way or another.
I need to accessorize. I need to get some of those things out. And I'm still working on. I still haven't bought it yet because they're kind of pricey. What is it called? The Go-To, the wireless microphone. Go-To something too.
Wireless Go-To.
Rode. Yeah,
that's one of them.
I still want to get that. Yeah, I envy you. I really want. I really want
transmitter, 2 transmitters, and then you have your receiver.
Yeah, I really want that. Yeah.
Product of Australia. Get one, man.
But they're a little pricey over here, and even if I order it from the U.S., I think the customs is kind of high. So I've been holding off.
Good audio is
priceless. If I quit buying this Apple crap, I could probably
get more money.
Something like that.
Yeah. Well, DJI stuff is the same thing. It empties your wallet pretty fast.
Yeah. But you know what? I'm using it for a good purpose. I'm using it for you see today, for the streaming. I'm using the Apple products for the drone, which is part of the channel. So it's investing.
It's all good.
And it's investing in our production and things like that.
Right.
So,
right. That's the way I look at it too. Even though I'm a little itty bitty teeny tiny channel for now, I have to. If I don't do the right thing,
that's the way. Chuck, that's the way we justify these things to ourselves, right? I mean, our wives probably tell us that, right? How can you justify buying it? Well, hon, it's for the channel, you know.
Well,
maybe one day, one day it'll pay for itself.
Maybe one day. At least the stuff I create is less amateurish, a little bit, maybe just a little bit.
I keep getting a comments either on Facebook, mostly on Facebook, and sometimes on my channel from one of our longtime subscriber. Her name is Winky. She lives down, I think, Messiah. Winky. And Winky, she says, she's always like, boys and their toys. I don't understand you guys.
They're tools. That's the problem. Some call them toys, but they're actually tools. All these things, these silly microphones and stuff, these are tools, man. This is how you get better audio.
Yeah. Well, I got to tell you, I don't know what
7 cameras. No, but I have 7. So,
do either one of you use tripods for your camera?
Oh yeah,
camera, whether it's a GoPro.
Yeah,
what's the name? What's the name? You know the name?
Peak
you remember
Design.
the name brand of your?
Mine's Peak Design.
What's that? Peak Design. What about you, Art?
Design.
I can't remember my main tripod that I use for my GoPros and all that. It's just a cheap aluminum one that has the
telescopic
where you pull it out.
Yeah. I have. What I bought, my last 3 are a brand called Smartree, SMARTREE.
I have some,
and you'll see that
stuff. Yeah.
If you go on Amazon, you'll see it on Amazon.
Yeah,
it's a really popular brand. But what they don't tell you, they're good for normal day-to-day stuff. But if you do what I do, in the garden, in the yard, in the construction site, in places.
Yeah,
The three legs on the bottom, and I've had this. This is my third one I've had this problem with. Is the leg, the way it's built and designed, it's also like my engine on my generator. It's made of some type of a cast aluminum, but it's a very small piece. And what happens occasionally is the leg will boom collapse like that, and it's broken, and it breaks where the little pin goes through inside the center rod, and it's broken on all three of mine. I like it. It's a cheap alternate. I think it's only like about $15 or maybe something like that. I don't remember the exact cost of it. Maybe $20. And they've all last about 1 year to 2 years. Every one of them's last. That's as much use as and every one about the same time that they break on the bottom. So I went online. I only need the bottom part. The telescopic portion still works really good, but the little bottom portion that you screw on for the tripod legs. But I can't find Smart Tree replacement for just that one part right there.
And
they want to sell you the whole thing.
If you don't mind spending a lot more, keep going. Sorry.
What I did on Lazada, I found the tripod that only is that portion right there. That's you screw your camera. So your camera's only this far off the tabletop.
Mm-hmm.
But what I did was, you'll find, because just like my AirPods, sometimes they'll manufacture stuff in China, and they'll sell it under different brand names, or they'll have an overage and they'll sell you at a cheaper price. So I found, and I compared it. They look identical. They look identical from the picture. The base, Peak Design. Oh, okay. I'll take a look at that.
It's
okay.
the Cadillac. It's the Cadillac of tripods. Lori bought that for me.
Yeah.
And carbon fiber, no less. They have aluminum and carbon fiber. She went all out, got me the carbon fiber, which is super awesome.
Good for you, Lori.
She's a good woman. I don't need any.
My wife will not support any of my tech hobbies. She won't support any of it.
Lori supports everything. That's why I shouldn't even say the thing I said earlier. It's just wrong.
So, yeah. Okay. So anyway, I bought another name brand, but the base looks identical. All the markings, the legs, the rubber tips, the base, everything looks like that. And I would be willing to bet it comes from the same Chinese factory that Smart Tree uses. Same exact place. So I'll let you know how that works out. And it was cheap. It was only, I think it was, I don't know, 300, 400 pesos, about $6 or $7 or something like that.
Oh, I can't.
Not very much, as opposed to must pay at least $20 for the whole, the whole kit that you get from Smart Tree. So I think it'll be the exact same thing. If that's the case, since the telescopic portion, I've never had a problem with that. It's always worked. I might just buy a couple of those because I know they're going to fail at some point.
Well, the Peak Design had an issue.
Or use yours, yeah.
The Peak Design had an issue because Keith has one, and the little tabs, the tabs where you extend the legs, two of them snapped in the exact same way, but Peak Design actually sent him an entire new leg ×2 very quickly. They support their stuff, which was pretty cool. Mm-hmm. And they're working on a redesign, which is very cool. But it's way more expensive than what you just described. So they should. Because your option is much cheaper. We got quiet. All I hear are crickets and stuff. That's not good. We don't want that airspace.
Tinkling in the background on James' channel.
Is it making you have to go visit the little boy's room?
You said that
about my video.
Turn it off. You want me to turn that off? I can turn it off.
Arts.
No, we're almost done here.
Yeah, we gotta go.
I gotta distracting.
Go.
It's just for me. It's
a run. Wifey wants him to do something.
Yeah, I want to.
I gotta get.
But the Art was laughing at my video when I had the water running and stuff. He really made you feel like you had to pee. That's a great comment. I'm sorry.
Well, I tried to get. I told him that.
I hear the birds chirping in the background, James.
Me too.
It's relaxing.
Like that.
It's so relaxing back there. It was really sunny in the morning, but like I told you earlier, I got this umbrella over me that's normally right here by the chair.
We have
It's actually getting more comfortable.
We have fireworks popping right now in the background.
Well, I just heard a few go off last night because yesterday, Saturday for us, was Philippine Independence Day.
Yeah.
They got their independence. I imagine it's from the U.S. They got their independence about 100 years ago.
That was actually from Spain. The U.S. When that July 4th, 1946 is when they got their independence from the U.S.
Was it? Okay. Maybe it was. Maybe in the early 1900s when the U.S. kicked Spain out, they helped the Philippines kick the Spaniards out, and then our people just made a mistake of trying to be an occupying force instead of and they're like, oh, well, we just kicked the Spaniards out. Why? And you're trying to do the same thing that the Spaniards did. So
it's called
they kicked us out.
Monroe Doctrine.
The Monroe Doctrine.
Mm-hmm. We're telling the Europeans, hey, we got this. You don't need to screw around in this hemisphere. Yeah. So, but after World War II, we decided, hey, here you go, here's your country.
And rightly so.
Yep.
Yeah, there was some really bad mistakes that was made by a lot of the occupying forces that came in here over, and they've been occupied for a lot. They've been occupied by Japan, the Spanish, the U.S., God knows who else. But one good thing about it is they've always afterwards everything got taken, and they maintained their sovereignty, and this is something that I agree. That the Philippines does that the U.S. doesn't know, and this is my opinion, is because everybody's always asking me, how can you own property in the Philippines as a foreigner? Well, you can't unless it's just some business. Just if you have a business here, you can buy property, but you have to employ like 60% Filipino employees, and it's just on the business side. But to come over here and do like what foreigners can do in the U.S., foreigners can go to the U.S. and buy property, own. And eventually what I see is piecemealing, and the richest countries in the world are going to end up owning the United States. And that's my opinion. Unless our laws are changed similar to which is a good and common sense approach to the Philippines. In the Philippines, you can rent, you can never own, you can never take the property away from the Philippine people. And I think a lot of other countries should follow suit, but they don't. Again, that's my opinion.
Yeah, the Philippines is the second largest English-speaking country in Asia.
Well, that's their school. When you go to school here, you were required to learn two languages: the native language and English. So, and I'm so glad. I'm so glad that they chose English to be that second language. That's a mandatory, because this is the easiest. And I've traveled in several of the countries in Asia, and this has been the easiest one to navigate and the easiest one to speak to anybody for anything, because of the English language being the second language here. So it works real good.
Well, guys, we're coming up on 3 hours here, so
I tried coming in. I told Ness to set the alarm clock for 5:30 this morning, and I think she did, but she went downstairs and started teaching, and
you started snoring.
She didn't wake me up, and she didn't wake me up, and by the time I woke up, I was like, oh man, because I wanted to join Chuck right off the bat and do the opposite, do a little bit of the intro, and
be nice,
bail out after a little bit, but it didn't work that way.
The weather's getting nicer here. It's getting harder and harder to be harder and harder.
Mm-hmm.
Freaking It was awesome out today here. You saw it was like in the 70s. It was great. Get a nice walk in the afternoon.
Well,
I might have to
just
do this from a
wanna
brewery sometime.
thank-
Might have to check in like out and about, like at a brewery. Might not be able to hear me so well.
Oh, I don't know if you can see.
What am I looking at? What are we looking
You
at?
see that?
Oh, banana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just yesterday. I didn't even realize. Yesterday. This is how quick this happened. That's the blossom on the bottom, the purple.
Yeah.
That's the banana. But the bananas, all of those are bananas, and this is the Cavendish. This is the big one, the huge bananas, like when you go to the grocery store in the United States.
Right.
The big Chiquita bananas. That's what those are.
Chiquita
And we
banana,
also-
and I'm here to say,
And behind,
bananas
you
have to
can't- I don't think you
ripen
can
in
see
a
it,
certain way.
but all along, you can see the banana leaves right there. But all along the back fence right there, I on both sides of our yard, is property owned by Americans who are married to Filipinas, and they both told me it was okay to plant bananas and papaya on their property. So all along lined up. Matter of fact, I have to go this morning and pick because they're so orange. If you let them they'll rot on you. I have papayas that are ready to be picked. We have one in the house. We were supposed to have for breakfast this morning with waffles, but I didn't cut it up last night. But there's so many bananas of the Cavendish
That's awesome.
and the Lantundan variety. I have so many out there that are growing the banana blossoms already, and bananas are. So we're gonna have a lot of bananas here over the next few months, especially with rainy season.
Chiquita. See, I started to sing the Chiquita banana song, and I couldn't. I don't want to interrupt you anymore, James.
Yeah, that's okay.
You know, you
can never
put
stop
them
you
in a
before.
salad. You can put them in a pie.
I like all those little like you put the lime in the coconut and mix
and
it
drink it
all.
all.
Remember that one?
Yeah.
Yep.
But the Chiquita banana song is pretty cool, actually. You know, check it out.
Yeah.
You should never put bananas. Wait, I forgot. I lost my place now. But and you should never put bananas in the refrigerator.
today's video. Today's video will be. I will take you in the backyard with all the stuff. There's so much stuff that has to be picked. I have everything. I have the Jurassic lemons. I have
Nice.
I have
Chernobyl
I
Farms
got the
lemons.
apple guava. I have no bananas. Papaya.
Dragon fruit.
Calamansi.
Yeah,
The
right.
dragon fruit. I say 3 days. About 3 days before the next dragon fruit. There's a bunch of them. There's so many of them. We had some. What we're doing with the dragon fruit is so good because the fruit is so good. It's like a dessert treat. What we're doing now, we're cutting them, peeling it, cutting them in half, putting it in a plastic Ziploc bag, sticking it in the freezer. And then in the evening time when we're watching television, we pull out one because one dragon fruit, half of a dragon fruit is enough for a full dessert. So I eat half and Ness eats half. It's very filling. It's almost like an ice cream, almost very similar to a sherbet, but with a little bit more effervescence kind of a taste inside of it.
Could you actually make dragon fruit ice cream? Maybe.
You could. Oh yeah, you can. Yeah, of course.
Awesome. Well,
You could. Yeah.
bring it, man.
I'm looking for some other varieties. I want the white variety. A friend of ours.
The purple's such a great color. It's like
The purple's the sweetest out of the. Well, I've only had 2 of the 3 that they talk about around here. They have a yellow, purple, and the white. And the white just has a unique taste. And I really enjoyed the white. I haven't had the yellow one yet. I need to find somebody that has both the white and yellow that I know, and I want to plant those inside the yard as well. We'll find a place for those so we can have all the varieties.
awesome.
So did you guys notice? I've been quiet here. No packing.
You've been quiet, yeah.
Yeah, I
quiet.
haven't been coughing for quite a while.
Don't jinx yourself, Art.
Yeah. Maybe the meds are working. Did you take meds recently for that?
He's drinking vodka
kicked
in the
in.
background. Can't see it.
You have your nose, and you can tell that you've been sick. Your nose and your cheeks are all rosy. You can tell.
Puffy, yeah, he's a little puffy.
Wednesday for me, if everything's still on schedule, my second vaccine shot of that crazy Chinese Sinovac.
Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
That will be.
I
have to check with our local.
Chow mein.
What's that, Art?
Tired.
You'll be craving chow mein after that.
No.
And fish heads.
Fish heads, yeah.
Roly poly fish heads. Eat them up, yum. I know you remember that Art from the doctor. The good
they actually eat fit. They take fish heads here and they make stew with the fish heads here.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. We eat chicken feet too, like in Thailand.
Probably. And then my wife and the kids, they eat the eyeballs from the fish. They take the eyeballs out and they suck because of the eye. Most of us Americans do. They take the eyeball, they put it in their mouth, then they break it, and all the juice and the skin on the outside, that's what they eat, and they spit out in the center of the eyeball is like a seed, like a pit, and that's what they spit out. But the kid,
James is getting a kick out of doing this stuff because he knows we're ready to like vomit. Basically, he's getting a kick out of this.
The kids fight over who's going to get the eyeballs inside the fish heads when Ness cooks the
freaking
fish.
Twisted. That's just wrong on so many levels. I don't even know where to begin.
That's right up there with balut.
Yeah, I can't. I did the balut, but I really refuse. Right, and it's all in my mind. It's all in my mind. But I still refuse to do the eyeball. But I won't do the balut anymore. I did it once, just to say that I did it, and I could share my experience with it. But I won't do it again.
What was Chevy Chase in that one movie? Was it lamb chops or something? How were they? You know, the bull testicles or whatever the hell they were at that one restaurant.
Oh, Rocky Mountain oysters.
Rocky Mountain oysters, yeah.
Those are good.
Better than fish eyes. If I had to choose one or the other, yeah, I say no to the fish eyes.
They eat some weird stuff over here, but the other weird stuff that they eat a lot of, like stuff that we would throw away normally.
Yeah, right. They don't waste anything.
Internal organs, internal intestines, internal organs on animals. They'll eat those, which is really not very different from turn of the century or before when people ate like chitlins in the U.S. And I imagine some people still do, and it has a lot to do with you don't waste any part of the animal because you can't afford to waste. You have to cook what you can afford to feed your family, and the situation is the same over here. Even in the 21st century, they're still doing that over here, and they've learned to make a delicacy out of a lot of these things, especially and I can't remember the name of it, but they pig blood and something. They make this kind of thing, and it's really kind of really dark red, very very dark purplish color, and that's the but Ness loves it, but she won't serve it to me. I could only eat it if I have eaten it before, and if it's prepared properly in the way Americans' palate likes food. It's actually really good. And I think the only way to do it is to overcook it. There used to be a Filipino restaurant that's nice to go to in Charleston that made this one. And I said, here, try it. You got to try it. And I tried it there. And they cater to the American palate. And it was really good there. But the way they do it in the Philippines is much more watery than the overcooking like they do in the blood is very pronounced. And you can smell it. And it's not something for me. Sorry, Art.
Well, I'm not hungry now.
Me either. I was gonna have pizza, but now I keep picturing like fisheye pizza or something gross like that. I gotta spit the liquid out or some weird stuff. I don't even know where to begin with that. It's just
tapioca pudding.
Oh,
God, I like that before the fisheye story. Now I'm kind of confused.
Yeah, that's what my sister and I would call that. Fisheye pudding.
Caviar pudding.
Yeah, I don't care for
Well-
caviar.
I've never had it.
well, Art, I got to tell you, my laptop unplug fits the exact amount of time of your program, because remember last week it said that your Mac will sleep soon unless plugged into a power outlet.
Getting ready to sleep
And
again.
right now, that means it's time for me to log out. And I got to tell you, you know, when I left you after you closed, because remember, I think we've told the folks here in the chat that when you close out the broadcast, you, me, and Chuck or whoever is in, we're still online. We can talk to each other. And I wasn't being rude. Like, you noticed, I was saying my goodbyes and I left. Boom, I was gone like that. Well, the computer shut down on me. I didn't. My hands were back here. I did not hit get out of there, so I wasn't being rude last week.
Done.
So,
All right,
but
well,
I got the.
let's say goodnight to the folks in the chat. Bill, thanks
Bill's been
for
busy.
joining the group here. You'll be. I got another video that's almost finished. I just need to finish it up tomorrow, and Chuck, you'll be able to see it.
Nice.
I think you'll like it. It's funny, but it's completely different than the last video. So good night, everybody. Have a great weekend, and catch you next time.
Peace out.
Bye-bye.
Later, guys. Yeah, cheers.